On tonight's episode of Gamecasters, we talk about all the games we've been playing recently. We play another trivia game with Natalie and Jeff, and then we end the show with the grand finale of our Polyomino discussion. Stay tuned. Well, hello there, gamers, and welcome to the episode you've all been waiting for. You only had to endure 55 episodes of filler to get to this place of pure bliss and enlightenment, and was it all worth it? No, of course it wasn't. You waited around for this? You fool. That reminds me of the guy from Princess Bride. You fool! Yeah. This was the biggest internet scam in history. We've got all your juicy download statistics now that we'll be selling off to the North Koreans for a couple billion won. They're already assembling their Miss French Toast robot that they'll unleash onto the South. French Toast, activate. Hey guys, you want to play Wingspan? Check out my pictures from this morning's hike. Meredith thinks they're a derivative, but she can kiss my face. And the South Koreans are like, oh no, run! Or what if they get their hands on the Jim Gamer bot? Hello chaps, tea time, yeah? Cheerio. Fancy a cuppa? I'm knackered. Are you chuffed to bits to see me, you cheeky Koreans? Bloody hell, tuck in. What are you on about? Jeff sucks. Dice Tower rules. Subjugate to socialism. Can you imagine a giant Jim Gamer-sized robot?
I would buy one.
Attacking you?
I think I would buy one.
I feel like it'd be like the friendliest robot.
Wait, no, he's a jerk.
But he sounds friendly. Even when he was like saying jerk.
Even when he
That's
hates
the
us.
way that they could definitely take over. You like see a bunch of Jim Gamers, you're like, oh, let's play games. Ow, ow, ow. All right. This is a joke, of course. This will just be a run-of-the-mill episode that's sure to disappoint and shatter dreams more than when I told my mom, hey, I think I want to go to broadcasting school. This episode will probably stink more than Natalie's farsightedness. This episode will be listed under the newest symptoms of COVID. The Surgeon General just called and told me that listening to this episode may cause explosive sexual aggression, chronic annoyance, as well as fits of resting bitch face, pity laughter, and spontaneous exasperation.
I'm actually nearsighted.
Wow.
I wasn't sure, but the first three letters of
doesn't
fart.
go with fart.
Near doesn't go with fart. Yeah, there's no misdirection there. This is also the last episode that Jeff and Natalie are contractually obligated to be here. I've got plans to renegotiate their contracts, and this time I may entice them by letting them get a word in edgewise. Natalie's proposed anti-fart clause has already been rejected by my attorneys, but we'll see what she thinks of my counter, which has to do with replacing the fart jokes with more pus and fluid secretion type things. Jeff will no longer be allowed to conceal his body with clothing when he comes over to record, but he will get to put on a sock or a mitten if he creates and uses a catchphrase like Jiminy Crickets or Show Me the Money or something like that twice an episode. The sock can cover any appendage rhyming with soot.
My foot.
So his penis has to stay exposed.
Yeah.
So you guys ready to renegotiate these contracts? We'll have to do that at some point.
Natalie, ready to do a spin-off podcast?
Totally.
We're just kind of like, hey, how's it going?
So this is the Office with the Parks and Rec. Oh man, you're having network connectivity problems. So Jeff, what we need to at some point establish a new catchphrase for you.
Ooh, what should it be?
A new catchphase? What's his old catchphrase?
Well, a new one. It's in the contract.
Doesn't he say zoinks all the time?
Zoinkus.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. Yeah, I'll start thinking of some.
Spilkas. Yeah, we need some sort of catchphrase for me. So what have you guys been up to? Anything
I know Natalie's
cool?
catchphrase.
What?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's it, I think.
Yeah. Even Lexi says that all the time.
No,
She's
she
like,
says, oh, dada.
No, she goes, Natalie, you're always like, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. It was funny. One day we were up in the kitchen, and me, Natalie, and Lexi were just like, I don't know what we were doing there, and I was just being me.
We were eating lunch.
And Natalie's like, oh, Lexi, can you believe him? And Lexi turns to her, and she's like, well, you married him.
I know.
Lexi's funny, man.
I know.
Yeah, she gets it. She's quick.
She does get
it.
Or there was that another time she was down here with us, and we were helping her with something with school, and you were just being super weird. And she just looks at me and she goes, is he like this when I'm not here? I was like, yes.
Yes.
We've been playing games on stream a lot with Sam and Janelle. Mm-hmm. And Sam has started doing that. Like, I'll just like say something and I just hear Ryan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that you don't understand how that makes my life complete.
Yeah.
We were
That's like all
rewatching some of the Scribble.io stuff because it was so funny.
That was funny.
And
that was
there
really
was
funny.
like something, Ryan did something and you just hear someone go, and he goes, is that you or Sam? I was like, I couldn't tell. It could have been either one of us.
You didn't even know if it was you.
Yeah.
You didn't know. Could have been you. Oh my
Just happens.
gosh, man. That's
so
funny.
funny.
Jeff, what's been up, man?
So, I did something Well, my wife and I did something.
Uh-oh.
The sex?
Let's talk. Well,
You finally did the sex?
Well, they have one baby.
Yeah.
At least one.
a year and a half after Jack was born, we finally had sex. Okay, so we used to love going to the movies. That was like kind of our date night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now that the movies are closed because of
You go to the couch.
we go to the couch and we watch movies.
Yeah.
But we found out that you can DoorDash movie theater popcorn.
Do-dash.
Oh, that's yeah.
Sorry.
So, you can DoorDash movie theater popcorn.
Movie theater popcorn?
So
That's
you
crazy.
you go on your
You gotta
phone
make
and you
money
go on
somehow,
DoorDash and you can order like a tub of large popcorn and like any candy from there and
Wait,
then
so
they'll bring
is
it.
the movie theater open just for this?
I don't know.
Like they make just.
But yeah,
the
so the DoorDash person goes to the movie theater, gets a large popcorn. It comes in like the big tub with a little container on top, like almost like a separate bowl that clicks on top, sort of like any like
Okay,
fountain
yeah.
drink or sort of a pop on
Yeah.
top. And then it comes with like a squirt bottle of butter.
Butter.
So you break it, you squirt it on there, you shake it up because it has the lid on it, and you got movie theater
does it
popcorn.
taste like movie theater popcorn?
Yeah, it's obviously not as like hot or like warm.
Yeah.
but it's still way better than like
Was it
microwave
Was
popcorn.
it like from
Wow.
like AMC or something?
We went to it was MJR.
Okay.
So yeah, it was MJR. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was so cool. It was like kind of a cool like date night. So
Yeah.
Wow.
we like watched a holiday movie. We watched the Happiest
I
Season.
watched that.
It was pretty good.
I liked it.
You haven't seen it?
I don't think I've even heard
It's
of
got Kristen
You
Stewart.
wouldn't like it.
It's got Kristen Stewart, David
Daniel Levy.
Levy from Schitt's Creek, Eugene Levy's son.
it. Oh, right.
He
Okay.
doesn't-
Oh, yeah. Okay. I saw this on...
I watched
Yeah.
it
I saw
when we
the-
were
okay.
quarantining and you were like feeling
Sick?
sick and I was like I watched it by myself and I was like this is actually
Yeah,
pretty
and
good.
then
I'm
Aubrey
not
Plaza.
usually
Aubrey
into
Plaza's
like
in it.
Oh, cool. What? I feel like
yeah,
she's
Aubrey
been
Plaza.
like MIA after.
Yeah, she's done
Parks
some
and
like
Rec.
side stuff, but
Yeah.
like not like main
Porn- like
roles.
porn?
But
Yeah.
she's
She
sure,
was
yeah,
a
of course.
lesbian and
She's a...
It was
Okay, we should watch this.
it was
I
funny.
actually liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it was
and
a
it has
nice-
like the mom from
Leave It to
Step
Beaver?
Brothers.
Yeah. Is she alive?
No, Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Brother's
Okay.
mom.
Yeah, sure.
And it was like a cute little date night. You know, we had the popcorn, and it
That's
kind of felt like
cool.
we were at the movie, so it was
That's
kind of
cool.
cool. I also have a question. So when your children are younger,
Yep.
Jack is close to like 1.5, and so our board games are in like our spare bedroom right now, while the basement we're hopefully working on the
I know
basement.
what you're going to say.
soon.
Let me
And-
does he just push every game in?
Yeah.
Yep.
Your kids do that?
Oh, yeah,
so,
dude.
So I have the
Oh, yeah.
Calyx shells. For everyone listening, I have the Calyx shells with just these cubes. And the depth of the cube is deeper than the game, but you want to put the game close to the front, right? So whenever that door opens, because it's usually closed,
All the
because there's
ones
just stuff in there. There's
Jack height.
computers and stuff in there. Yeah. So the bottom 2 rows, Jack just goes and just pushes them all back.
Yep.
And they just slide all the way back
Oh,
to
yeah.
the back. And at this point, I just left like 3 or 4 cubes just to push back. I'm like, well,
They actually started putting that in baby books.
really?
Here's things to look for. Does the kid start pushing all your board games in the couch shelves?
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
That's about the 1.5 milestone.
yeah, like
the doctor
1.5
asks you that. The doctor, are they pushing
Are they
board
pushing
games?
board
yet?
games? Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
they're not pushing the board games.
So I just thought it was so
spectrum
he's
stuff
just like,
going on.
and that's all he wants to do. He doesn't want to like take them out.
Yep.
He just wants to push them straight back, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I just
Yep.
thought it was so funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it made me mad. I'm like, damn it, Scarlett! I'm like, get away from the game shelves. Because it was before she
Who's
could
down
walk,
here?
she'd crawl around.
Yeah.
So everything on the bottom row was always push, 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 push.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'd
when
catch
the-
her sometimes like Scarlett, and she'd just look at me like,
Yeah. When the basement gets done, we're gonna have the 2 areas. I'm getting like a little gate to like shut him
Yeah.
out of the
yeah,
one.
yeah, shut him out. Shut him out.
But yeah, that's been going. We're still at school online. Devin and I are both working at home. It's funny because I'm teaching like 9th grade and we're talking about U.S. history, and Devin's teaching kids how to read and add and math. So
Wow.
Yeah.
it's just we're in 2 different spaces but in the same house at the same time. So it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
but-
was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. We just had my mom over. Usually we have brothers and nieces and nephews over, and
Yeah.
all it was my mom came over, so it was just 3 of us and Jack, so 3.5 of us.
Yeah.
I
I love that he's a half.
just made chili, and we just kind of kept
Turkey
it really
chili?
easy. No, not turkey chili. I was like, we usually have like turkey meat for like everything.
Yeah.
But I was like, heck no, I'm having like ground beef for.
Nice.
It's
Chili.
special
Heck yeah.
day.
Yeah, it's a special
Right.
day. How was your Thanksgiving?
COVID giving.
Well,
Quarantined.
we were quarantining,
So
it
I
was just
had a
sort of
COVID scare. I had some symptoms a week or 2 ago. Actually, it was right after we recorded the last episode.
Yeah, it was that
That
day.
night after Jeff left, I started like coming down with. I mean, every fucking time. I mean, it's like okay. COVID has made people feel like there's no other sickness on earth other than COVID. So if you get any kind of symptom, it's like, I must have coronavirus. And so most of the symptoms I had were on like the main 5-6 symptoms.
List,
and I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I just have a cold.
Like the main ones like fever and shortness
I didn't have
of
a
breath.
fever. I could still taste stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just had a sore throat.
I was still able to achieve. Is that a symptom?
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Is that not a symptom?
Well, when in quarantine, what else is there?
What are you going to do?
But it also is like, it's Michigan, it's changing weather.
Yeah.
You know, very easily is
every year around
it a
time.
cold? Is it allergies?
Right. Is it HIV?
But of course,
you have to be safe.
Any other time it would be like whatever. But of course, it's the week before Thanksgiving, and we were going to have a few people, like my dad and my grandmother and a couple cousins over.
Cousins?
For Thanksgiving to our house. And
now we can't.
Because we have to be careful. We got a test, but we didn't get the test back in time, and we didn't have the kids because we were just trying to be safe. And
you did the right thing.
Yeah, but it was.
Dude, so I got the coronavirus test.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh my God, have you had it?
No, but that thing goes into your brain and then swipes around in your brain and then comes.
So
all the way
I've
out.
had a flu test. A flu test is
where they swab your nose.
No, they go up your nose with the flu test, and so. In my brain, I was like, "Well, I've had the flu test, so I know what to expect." And so I go to the urgent care to get my coronavirus test, and they actually come out to the car and do it.
Yeah,
and they also brought me a burger and fries, which that was weird. And so they come, yeah. Here's your burger.
Number 3,
COVID test. Yeah. So they were like, "Have you ever had a coronavirus test?" And she was like, serious. And I was like, no, but I've had the flu test, so I know, more or less what to expect. And she's like, okay, this goes much deeper, and we do both nostrils for 10 seconds. And I was like, oh. And in that moment, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And I almost just peeled out right there. Like, just ran away.
Get my burger, I'm out.
But so she's like, take a deep breath. And exhale. When I exhaled, she jams the damn thing up my nostril, and she's twist. And dude, it went like... It
goes up into
my
your
nostril.
brain.
It came out the top of my head, and then like went back down out the other nostril.
Yeah, and then it's just like
she's
a towel, like back and forth.
Like wringing it out. And then she's okay, I'm going to do the other nostril. And so she told me, and this is exactly what happened, because the second it goes up there, you're crying like a baby.
Yeah.
Because it just activates your crying like a baby sensors. And you just immediately look,
pour out of your
it's
eyes.
like, I'm not going to stop until I hit the wuss center of your brain. And it's like, so I'm just like, I'm this grown man, like twisting around away from this thing that's in my nose, because I can't get away from it, and I just want to cry. And she told me, and this is as it's up there, she's like, yeah, it feels like someone's taking a hose and spraying it up directly up your nose. I'm like, that's exactly what it feels like. It's exactly what it feels like.
Waterboarded?
Like there's this water being shoved, and I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
I feel like if I just like went like leaned away, she would just like extend her arm.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. So then that was over, and it was negative.
So
I might do anything to avoid that test.
Well,
I'll just stay in my house.
Stay at home. So I'm glad it was negative.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I also for that week was like, all right, well, I gotta, because I saw you, I was like, I gotta stay home.
I'm fucked now.
But
sorry, man.
So there was. You said though the nurse stuck it up your nose. I had a guy at work that he was coaching football when football was still allowed to happen in Michigan, and somebody on his team got it, so he had to go get tested, and they made him do it
himself.
So because again, they were like, all right, we're not going to do this because you might have COVID, so we're not going to get close to you. Here's the thing: stick it up your nose. I'll tell you when to stop. Hold it, pull it out. So he had to do it himself in both noses.
I don't think I could do that.
Both noses. Both
nostrils. Most people have two noses.
Both noses.
Man,
this nose and the other nose.
Oh, jeez.
But like you keep saying like
I chose to do mine rectally, so
yeah. It had to go up a lot farther,
it goes
but it
farther.
didn't feel as bad.
I wanted a magazine.
But like you kept saying, it sucked because like we were like pretty sure
I was like 90%
it was negative,
it was
but
not
like obviously
COVID.
we had
Yeah,
to
you
like
have to-
get the test back, and so like we were, we missed all this stuff. We couldn't see the kids, we couldn't see any family at all, and
But you have peace of mind, and it's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
it
got
was
peace of
definitely the
mind.
right thing to do, but it was just like, oh,
It was a bummer because it was right at the holidays.
But we
so it was
had
a
like
bummer.
all the same food that we like bought for.
we had like a
people
smoked
over.
turkey for $6.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
so
two.
we like
Six-
still
for six
made
for
the
two.
same
Yeah, for six
meal
for two.
and just had it, just the two of us.
It was pretty cool.
And had
Yeah.
lots of leftovers.
Awesome. So has anybody been playing any games lately?
Nope. Episode 57.
Okay, me neither. Let's
move on.
go over to the next one. Wow, this is episode
games.
56, isn't it? Holy cow.
56.
Holy
Just
crap.
been building up to this, like you
It
said.
has. Yeah, those are all filler.
Here they are.
This is the episode they've been waiting for.
56.
Do you want me to start? Do you want me to
man.
start with that game?
Yeah, start with that game.
Let me tell you
Yeah,
something
that
I
game.
played before I talk about that game.
Okay.
I played Lorenzo Il Magnifico again.
Oh, I heard you played with 4.
Played with 4. Went over to Joe and Jen's.
Okay.
And played just the 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
That game is toit at 4.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
I'll bet.
So money becomes uber important with 4 because if you remember, you have those towers and you place your family member, your worker in those towers.
Yeah.
And if there's another family member there of anybody,
gotta pay 'em.
you have to pay $3 to the bank. It's not, thankfully, it's not like stacked. If there's like 3, it's not 9 or whatever.
Right.
But when you're only playing with 2, you kind of have at least 1 free spot, maybe like 2 free spots where you don't have to pay to put your family member there. If you're last in that turn order, you're paying.
Your choices are pretty weak, huh?
Yeah, and you have to have money, and a lot of those cards cost money. So if a card costs $5 and you have, now I got to have 8 because I have to pay 3 to go there. So it's tight, but it was just as good. I really liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, you're not blocking off any spaces either.
Right. Yeah. So they're.
Does that change it at all?
Yeah, so you know what you can produce the green cards or the yellow cards.
Yep.
There's like the production spaces. The second production space is open for anybody. You can't double up, but it takes away 3 from your value of your die.
Oh.
So if you're trying to run a 4 numbered engine,
Yowza.
you have to spend
Gotta roll a 7.
You gotta roll a 7, or you have to spend a lot of the workers or the servants or the purple guys. And so a lot of those resources become really important. And turn
So it
order
felt
is
way
important.
different to you.
Yeah, it felt different to me, but I still liked it.
Which way did you like more?
I don't know. I liked the ease of just playing it with 2. That was just easy, I thought. But if I for a more of a challenge, it was definitely more challenging to play with 4 and figuring out that puzzle a little bit. Like I think I only had 1 yellow card, maybe 2.
Wow. How many points did you win by?
Like
Jeff.
8
Jeff.
or 9.
See?
Maybe 10, but it was
Right.
close.
knew it.
But yeah, it was like anyway. So I played
That's
that.
sweet, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's cool you played it again.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I was
made you
happy
want
to
to
get
bring it
to
up? Did Joe ask for it, or did you were you like, let's do this?
Yeah, so Jen and Joe are kind of already in our bubble because of our kids go to our moms and whatever,
Yeah,
so we
they
see them a
live
lot.
with us.
And
Yeah.
we just
You
kind of
came
talked
out of
about
the same,
like,
Oh my god.
so let's just
Don't.
do like a little game day. And Jen, who is trying to get into a little more like heavier games, was like, bring a game over that
good.
Devin likes, like a medium-ish game that Devin likes.
Really?
So, because Jen says that Devin they like the same games, or they could like the same games, and so I brought over Castles of Burgundy, Lorenzo, and Trajan. So those are the three
Oh, okay, I
brought
see.
over.
So she wanted something already Devin approved.
Already Devin liked.
Okay.
And because she knows that Devin liked it, and she puts them in the same
be
kind
more
of boat of
likely
like,
to like
she
it.
might like it too. It wouldn't be like, oh, we're going to play 3 hours of Underwater Cities, which I would want.
Oh, that'd be great. That was
yeah.
really fun 4-player.
It was awesome. This game's so
At
good.
Nerdfest? Oh,
Yeah,
man,
that
I
was
like
fun.
that
Oh
game. I
my
like that
gosh,
game.
let's
I
talk
like
about
that
another
game.
game.
I like that game.
Let's
I
talk
like
about that game. Remember I was going to talk about that
I like
game?
that game. Yeah, what was that game?
That
Yeah.
game is called the Grand Carnival.
Carnival.
Which makes me want to call it, is it Carnival?
Carnival.
What do you think?
Oh, it's Carnival.
Carnival.
I know, but should we
sure.
call it the Carnival?
Yeah, Carnival.
What is Carnival? Is that
Carnival is that the place where everybody goes to get naked in Jamaica? No, that's hedonism.
What? I thought that was sandals.
Oh.
No, hedonism is
Hedonism.
it's like sandals, but everyone's naked,
Yeah.
Oh.
right?
It's like a naked resort. Like you don't have to wear clothes. I've been to Jamaica.
I think you're supposed to
I've
have
been
there.
by
You've been there now?
supposed
Tell us
No,
about
I've
it.
been near
Hedo.
hedonism. I was a
Are they just
child.
all
Near it.
on
So
a
you just had a couple
vacation.
articles of clothing on?
No, I was on a child.
Wait,
I went-
what? I was out of child.
I was a child.
I had child. I was out.
Not
I was
a
out
child.
of
Okay, I was like in middle school, and we went to Jamaica on vacation.
Aruba.
And we stayed at this resort, and then I think I was like kayaking or something
You saw some
around the
boobies?
ocean, and there's just this totally
butt.
butt-ass
There's a penis.
naked guy
That
face
you,
down,
Jeff?
sleeping on a raft in the water.
Because he wasn't face
Face
up.
down on the
I know, and I was just like,
Man, that's funny.
Man, you can punch
Or
a
we
hole
I
in
don't know
there.
if I
take
heard of
walks
that.
down the beach, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
were
it's
just like,
called
"Here's
hedonism.
hedonism. Just look straight. Don't look around." Like,
What? I'd be like, where's hedonism?
God,
Get me some
well, it's
hedonism.
all
That
like
came from
older
I know,
people and
punchy old
married
people.
people, and
that conversation came from Carnival, by the way.
You never know what you're
All
going to
right,
get in episode 56. See, all the rest was filler. I
The Grand
don't know why I just
Carnival.
went Southern for a minute there.
So the Grand Carnival was a game that was looked at, especially by Ryan, was like focused because he was in this polyomino,
that fucking
Yeah.
this
thing.
haze. Okay, so
A haze.
I
I was
was just like-
I was like drugged.
he was
on
like walking
Polyomino.
and people were turning into polyomino shapes, you know, and he was just, I have to
When we
have
played
this.
Scribble.io, he had Tetris 2 times.
I saw him draw it at least once.
Yeah.
And everyone was
got it
like, is this
again.
Tetris again? And it was great.
Yeah, I was like, well, I have Tetris. I have to play it.
So this episode is, we're going to talk a lot about polyominoes.
Polyomino.
And if you don't know what polyomino means, I need you to just think of Tetris.
Yeah.
Right? It's not
Polyomino,
Tetris, but the
pieces.
shapes.
If you don't know what polyomino means,
By now,
then this
you
must be
haven't
your
been
first
listening to-
episode
Yeah.
of the Gamecasters ever, which is cool. Welcome.
Welcome.
You're going to learn a lot.
Yeah. So I need to give a shout out to Uproarious Games for sending me a copy so we could play it and talk about it. So in the Grand Carnival, players are competing to create the best carnival in town
Carnival.
for 1 week.
Yes.
You're there for a week. And I assume that like these carnivals are all in the exact same town. They're just
Yeah, I think that's
for the same week, and they're like,
if they're
no,
not,
come
if
to
they're not,
mine.
They look the same. So
Yeah.
Mine's better.
So each player, to talk about what like you're starting with, each player starts with their own blank carnival board and some really adorable player pieces.
yeah, they're cute.
Your player pieces are kind of cool. They're like, I think Natalie, you were like the strongman, right? Like lifting weights. But they're like
so.
they're tiny. They're like teeny
Yeah.
tiny. They're like meeples. They're like small,
Yeah.
but they're shaped in those things. I had like a bear, I think, like standing on one of the, maybe
Yes.
balancing a ball or a seal or something.
No, you're right.
there
It was a bear.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was a seal. That makes no sense.
So yeah, they were like carnival type things. They were all shaped really cool. They could have easily just been cubes, but I'm glad they weren't.
I was the bearded lady.
Yeah, the bearded lady. That's
No,
in
you weren't.
real life. The bearded lady.
In real life, you're the bearded lady.
Well, they have beards down below.
Okay. So on this board, on the right of this board, you're going to be constructing your carnival, and on the left, there are numbers 1 through 5.
Yes.
For example, 1, 2, 3, 4.
In case
and
you're number
5.
blind, those
In
are
case you're number blind, those are the numbers. Good one, Natalie. So in case you're number blind, 1 through 5 are on the left side. Man, I got a lot of comments about that. Yeah. That's so funny.
That was man. That
Even
was
our
really
Russian,
funny.
even our Russian comrade liked that.
yeah, they like that.
Yeah, she was awesome.
There was some. Oh my
That
god,
was
there's some things that
hilarious.
come out of left field sometimes, and
Yeah, that really caught us off.
that man, that just like swept
was
me
a
off
good
my
one.
feet. I was laughing real hard at that.
So the Grand Carnival, on the right you have where you're going to construct your carnival. On the left you have these numbers 1 through 5, and in each turn you take those adorable little cute player pieces, and you're going to select a number 1 through 5, which essentially determines the strength of what action that you want to do.
Yep.
There are 3 actions. So once you pick one of those numbers, that number is gone for the round. So I can only pick 2 once per round. And then you pick an action. So the actions that you can do is, the first thing you do is you can take a foundation tile. And what these foundation tiles are, they're little 2x2 squares, and they're made up of both construction sites and walking paths that you put into your carnival. With me so far?
Yep.
You've played it, so you're with me.
Yep.
The next thing that you can do is you can build an attraction on the construction sites that are in your park. So after I put a foundation tile on, so doing that first wouldn't make sense. You have to put a construction tile down or a foundation tile down, and then you can build any size from 1 to 5 on your park. So it's like, they're different rides. Like the 1s are cute little like food stands.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
2s are like, little guessing games. They're just different they're
Right, the
cool.
bearded
art.
lady stand.
The bearded lady stand, of course. And then the 5s are bigger rides, and you just kind of add them
Ferris
to your
wheels.
park.
Roller coaster.
And they obviously have to be the same shape as the construction sites that you've built on your park. The last thing you can do with the 1 through 5 is you can move a guest throughout your park. And what's cool is if they stop next to an attraction, kind of thematically, they're stopping there to visit that attraction. So you take a little tiny ticket, which are shaped like tickets, they're also cool, and you add it to the ride or attraction that you're there. Throughout the game, there are also some in-game goals, which are pretty cool. They give you some end-game bonuses or even in-game powers or bonuses, which are really sweet. Once all those numbers were taken for that round, it's over. Okay, and then you do that 7 times. So then you move from Sunday to Monday, and you move to the next round, and that's it. And then at the end of the game, you total up points, and you total up for sets of the same size rides. So if I have 4 one-size rides, I get points. You get points for sets of 1 through 5. So making sure you have a 1 size, a 2 size, a 3 size, a 4 size, and a 5 size.
6. Shit.
You were close. Man. Yeah, you were progressing. That was good.
I knew.
So if you have a set of them, you get points. You get points for having tickets on your rides. You get points for having guests at Big Top, which eventually that just means they kind of have left the park and have gone through the entire park. You get points for having employees, which are called carnival barkers.
Yeah,
Apparently.
barkers.
And then you lose points for any open construction area you have on your board. So that is the Grand Carnival.
It was grand.
Anything I miss?
No, I don't think so.
So I want to preface this by saying that when the three of us played it, we made the game really hard for us. So there's a rule that if you place one of your meeples on a 5, you get up to that power.
You can take 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah. So there is a row called the rail yard of the foundation. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And what we did is if you placed it on the 2, you had to take the 2. And if you placed it on the 4, you had to take the 4. But if you placed it on the 4, you could take 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we did make the game harder for ourselves.
It made it challenging because you really had no option. You had like the one, like all I have is the 3 left. I can only take that tile. I want that damn tile. But you could have taken the 2 or the 1.
Yeah. So I did play with Devin with the correct way to do it. It did ease things up a little bit. It made it a little lighter, but I don't think that the way we played it took away from what. Well,
we all did it, you know, so it was balanced at least.
Yeah.
And we were all within 1 point of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was
it was like 33, 34, 35.
Once I did the math right, we were all within 1 point of each other.
Right.
So I would consider this, and Ryan, I guess, would you consider this a pure polyomino?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's
funny as I was looking at all of these polyomino games that I've played over the last little bit. This was maybe the one that wasn't 100% easy to say either way.
It's like a fringe.
Yeah,
it's close.
It's a little. It's if it's not a pure polyomino game, it's like right on the edge, looking in, like, hello, can I come in there, please? But it's definitely not like a Feast for Odin where, you know, the polyomino tiles are the main attraction here.
Right.
Yeah.
Attraction, get it?
I get it.
But there is like other ancillary things, like you're moving around the board, you
have to
placing
build
tickets.
Right, this isn't all about
there's more.
polyomino
There's more
pieces,
than literally just. So maybe it's not pure. Maybe it like had sex before marriage.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So maybe it's like,
but maybe just like
totally wear white.
Maybe just like over, like maybe just under the shirt stuff.
Yeah, like
it's not 100% pure. But maybe it's like a handy.
It was
or something.
like digital penetration.
Digital
quarantine. Oh, like a finger?
Yeah, fingering. Like it was like a fingering.
Oh, maybe it got a fingering.
So yeah, it's
sorry, uproarious for describing this game as getting.
It's not as pure as something like RIL, which has never been touched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until
so,
it said odd.
With that being said,
zing zing, was that the wedding ring? Okay.
That thought might be in my next sentence. So I think.
Wow, that was good.
I think that this could be one of my favorite polyomino, especially if we're going to call it a pure polyomino game.
It is.
I think this is one of my favorite pure polyomino games I've played, especially recently. I think the art was like awesome. It
was cool.
I think it was like just unique and like almost like whimsical, where it just was like, I don't know. I don't. You just need to like look at the cover.
Old timey cartoon style.
Yeah, and it was cool.
If you've played that video game Cuphead, have you seen that game?
Yeah,
it's kind of that. It's kind of that style stuff. Natalie's nodding her head yes because she loves that game.
Yeah. I'm not.
So I thought the production was obviously great. I thought like the tiles and the pieces and the borders were all amazing. I loved
thick.
That everything. Yeah,
oh my God.
I love that everything was shaped like carnival stuff. You felt like you were building a carnival. Like guests were like, you know, they had their hands in their pocket and you could tell they were like walking and whistling. Like, I just thought it was pretty cool that everything was shaped the way it.
I also liked the color scheme. I thought that was nice.
Oh, you do?
It was a pretty cool color scheme.
Reds.
They had greens in there. There was some yellows.
Yeah, it wasn't just like
is that the lady from FedEx?
Yeah. There was. It was sweet. Anyway, keep going.
So for some reason I just really enjoyed what I was doing while I was playing it, and I'll get a criticism later, which I think might be one of Ryan's thoughts as well. But I didn't care about like what the score was or how I was doing compared to you guys. It was just fun to take those foundation tiles to build the park to try to. You know, because you can't turn those foundation tiles. They have to be oriented the same direction. So, like,
that was tricky.
What's perfect? And then also the challenge of, you know, not only getting your rides on the right spot, but then having a path for your guests to walk because they need to get to the rides because if they don't get to the rides, they don't score.
That was the one thing that I think playing that rule wrong made it harder to do.
Because you couldn't get the right foundation tiles.
Because if you couldn't get the right foundation tiles, you're like, I have to take this, and it's going to cut my path off.
And it did make it's cut it right off.
Just cut it off.
So I think Ryan had like a guest that was just kind of stuck in his
he was at the start spot like the whole time.
You weren't punished for that, right? It wasn't.
No, I only lost by 1 point to second place.
Yeah,
so
and
it wasn't like I was completely effed.
Yeah, so it was. I liked that. I thought there was a couple challenges there. It wasn't just, I don't know how to describe this. It wasn't just, all right, I'm taking these shapes and I have to stick them in this shape.
Right.
Like, all right, I'm taking this L shape and I have to put it in this square somewhere, right?
It has to fit completely.
Like,
That's the whole
pure
goal.
polyomino, right? Where you're just like drawing the shapes or you have to fit it like patchwork. I have to put this into that spot. I'm creating the spots that these shapes get to go on as well.
Yeah, it's
and the walking path.
It's that Paris La Lumière, Beauty and the Beast mechanism. Where you put the tile down that you then place the polyomino tile upon.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I liked the in-game objectives to do. I also liked that there was a race element to doing that, because if Ryan is the first one to get it, Natalie and I have to do it on our next turn, or we don't get it anymore. Which doesn't
necessarily mean the end of the round. I thought I had the most clever turn when we played. I did it like I was the last turn of the round, and I did it, and I was like, that means no one else can do it now. And then you guys were like, oh, well, at least we have our next turn. And I was like, oh.
It still was good.
Not that I wanted to hurt you, but I felt like, oh, I smartly did this.
And there are some cool ones. So when Devin and I played, there were some cool ones where we got to move our guest diagonal. So that was pretty cool. Or split your movements up between two guests.
Diagonally.
So that made moving a little easier. And yeah, I kind of liked how it all just played out. That was a puzzle in a polyomino game that I liked.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of it?
You start.
Oh, me?
Yo.
Okay. I really like this game. I mean, even though we played it wrong a little bit,
wrong, but
yeah, I still really liked it. And you played it the correct way, and so it's basically what I assumed is what you said happened. It just makes it a little bit easier, right. Not as tight. And
it's really just for that rail yard, just for the foundation tile. The other ones are, if you want a 4 ride, you're probably going to use a 4 anyway. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but I liked it a lot. I like, just like in Miyabi, it had that similar mechanic where you know, like Jeff said, you place it on like the 2 and then you can't use the 2 anymore.
Yep.
You place it on the 4, you can't use,
similar.
You can only use each number once per round. And so that because of that, you have to like, you have to plan, and and it like kind of like narrows down, your moves, and I really like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, to me, this felt like a polyomino game that was more gamey, which I liked a lot too. It wasn't just like not like the Magnificent or like Amerigo, where it's a game with a little
with polyomino tiles
that just happens to have polyomino tiles. This is like a polyomino game. But like you said, not in the sense where you're trying to fill up a space with these tiles, which you are, but there's so much more to it. It matters. You're not just trying to like fill in a row or fill in a column necessarily. You're trying to like make a path, and you're trying to make a carnival, and you're trying to get, one of each number maybe to get these
or a bunch of
points.
One number.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I don't know, I thought it was really fun. And then you have to have like 15 tickets at the end to get a certain amount of points too, and that was kind of fun because, and like it goes along with the thematic part of it, like to get tickets, your customers or whatever had to like go around the park and stop and pay or turn in a ticket to like each stand or each whatever ride or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get the ticket. So then so part of your goal is like trying to get to the top and get out, but also you're trying to like wander around your park to get these tickets out too, to get more points. And so there was just a lot more to it, that it didn't feel like heavy at all, but it was like I don't know, I liked the weight of it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was like still, it felt polyomino-y, but also gamey.
Lannister.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good game.
So what'd you hate about it?
I didn't hate anything about it.
Right.
Do you want to say your complaint? Because I'll chip in when you say it, because I think I know what you're going to say.
I don't think I'm going. Why don't you say it? Because I'm not going to say it.
The one issue that I think we talked about was maybe a little bit with the scoring. I don't know if you.
Okay. Yes, I was going to say.
So go ahead. Go.
All right. Here's what I'm going to say. All right. Things I liked. Jeff talked about the production of the game. Man, I loved that. I thought the game was really cool to look at. Mm-hmm. Like it was very pleasing, and not just the artwork goes into that. It's the way the components are made, and we played a game which we'll talk about in a little bit, where the components The artwork was pretty cool, but the components were the flimsiest thing in the world, and so it's just not as fun to look at even. This game was really cool to handle and look at. The components were made very, very well. The different meeples were fun to handle and look at. I had a great time figuring out how to get done what I needed to get done in order to keep up with the other players and satisfy the requirements of the scoring and score the most points. So that's one thing. Jeff, I wanted to ask you, our game that we played was 35, 34, 33 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was close.
What was the score like with you and Devin?
I beat Devin by like maybe 8, 9.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why in a moment when you're
okay. So that's
scoring.
Anyway, I thought it was fun figuring out because there's like a laundry list of things like, okay, I could do this or I could do this. I got to get that done. I see Jeff and Natalie are going towards that, so I got to get that too. And if I don't get that, am I left in the dust? And so it kind of gave you this sense of urgency or this like stress, which I like in games at times. I like the feeling of like, oh my God, okay, I got to get up to 15 tickets. I got to get up to 15 tickets. I've only got 10. Jeff's already got 16. Natalie's got 14. Oh my God, if I don't get that, that's 12 points. That's it. The game over, I lose if I don't get this. So I have to figure out how to get this done.
Yeah.
So I did kind of enjoy that, honestly. You really have to plan things out because after a while, the tiles you want could just disappear. Also, that was there was one. So that's pretty much the things I liked. It was a very cool experience. The main thing I didn't like about the game was related to, I think probably if I think about it, related back to us just playing that one rule incorrectly. I felt randomness in the way the tiles came out. In that I'm not even going to spend much time talking about this because we just played the rule wrong.
Yeah,
you can, as Jeff said, you can spend a 5 worker to take a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 tile, and we didn't play it that way. And so I remember thinking a couple times like, I have a 3, and I want that one that's 2. Like, I want that so bad.
Yeah,
and if someone takes one, it slides. And now it's like, no. And I could have taken it. And so it felt a little randomy, stymie. But again, that's not the way the game is played.
You don't feel like that with other players.
Yeah, I would guess you would not feel like that. So honestly, I didn't really. There's really nothing else to say. I get there's ways to score points that I kind of just talked about a minute ago. And Jeff, you can expand on this if I'm not saying everything that you wanted to say. But there are things that I feel like if you don't hit it and your opponents hit it, you are just out. And you could potentially get into a situation where you can't get there in time. And is that your fault? Probably. It probably is, especially considering the way the rules are intended. It's probably easier to get done, maybe more what you need to get done. But the way things are pointed out, you really have to make sure you're watching.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because you know me, I'm typically play games and I don't look at other people. And this game, I was forced to. Like, if you don't, you're gonna be screwed over.
And I like games that do that.
Yeah.
I do
because
it can feel bad, I guess. Though if you all of a sudden look up and you're like, well, I can't get to 15. Oh, they both.
Right.
Oh, okay,
I was like counting your tickets and then even the end game things was it the end games, the ones at the top?
It depends on the.
Yeah, it depends on the card.
You have to achieve them in the game.
Those special things. Because once somebody gets it, everyone else has one more round to try to get it. So
I got all 3 of those and I still lost. So
I was watching that a lot because
one
of them was like, you need to, once you have this many tiles out or something like that, like let's say there's like 8 and I was like counting everybody's because there was some turns where like I took a tile, I took like a ride instead of like the foundation tile, and then I was like a little behind, but I was like watching you guys because I'm like, I can't get too behind because I have to like be able to, if one of them gets that, I have to be able to get it.
Well, so what you're saying there is what made me ask you that question about the score, because I felt like the game almost has a built-in, I don't want to say catch-up mechanism, but it almost has like a thing that keeps everybody doing the same thing, potentially. Mm-hmm. Because if you're looking around, it's like, okay, this is worth 12 points to get these things. Yeah. I see Jeff's kind of doing it now. I got to do it too. you know,
Right.
or like
So is
they
that why
both of them have
scores were
one
similar?
of each. Yeah, that's what I was wondering because our scores were
Yeah.
very similar because we all did the same. We all had a 1 through 6 or 1 through 5.
Yeah, 1 through 5.
We all had the 15 tickets. We all had, you know what I mean? It was like all of us had
I feel
the
like
exact
one of the
same
only things
scoring
that was varying
things.
was like that one scoring where like if you have so many of a number 3 tile, you get this many points.
We all did it. It was just the tiles that we had were different.
But so that's why I think that's where like maybe the points varied the most, but not even that much.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Jeff, go ahead and talk about what you were going to say about scoring because that's the one thing I'd could.
So I would say there was a couple BGG feeds like forums about scoring. Like, you know, if I don't collect a set of 5, I'm going to lose.
Yeah,
right.
right.
So
It's
that
over.
was kind
I
of the
lose.
point. And
Yeah.
so Rob Kramer is the designer, and which is I always think is so cool when designers like comment on some of these things.
Yeah.
There was a lot of kind of back and forth, and I don't remember if like he said it or if other people said it, but there was talk of like, all right, well, do you sacrifice some of the theme of the game for scoring, or do you lean toward the theme? Where like, all right, if I'm actually going to a carnival, wouldn't I want all of these attractions to be there? Wouldn't I want a one tile that has food? Wouldn't I want the bumper cars and the little roller coaster?
Right.
And, you know,
And
so
the bearded
It's like forcing you to build
So
the ideal
you have to build a good,
but just better.
yes. You know, would it be, you know, if I could just say, all right, I'm going to take this construction tile that has 4 spots in it, and then I'm going to take my next 4 and just buy 4 of those the ones and take all the ones. Is that how you wanted the game to play? And I think that they kind of came to the conclusion like, no. They want people to try to get all the rides and then somehow be good enough to go, all right, now I'm going to try to get 2 more 4s, so I have a set of 3 4s.
Yeah.
I had a set of 3 5s in our game.
Wow.
But I struggled to get my like first 2 because Devin was going after 2s. So like that was a little bit of back and forth challenge that was good. He did also propose a bunch of like variations. He's like, here's all the variations of scoring that we talked about when we designed the game, and here they are. So instead of, you know, maybe do a point per ticket. Or if you don't get 10, you don't get 15, you lose the points for every ticket you don't have. Or, you know, he had like different scoring variations. I thought was kind of cool to just, you know, put out there. And he's like, report back.
Wonder how much playtesting you went through.
He said, just in this thing, he said they did a lot. They liked this scoring method enough, and they thought that, he said the scores were different enough, and that he felt that people won in different ways more than maybe what we experienced.
Yeah.
Or that what people are questioning also. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool that he addressed it, and he,
It's cool.
he gave some other options.
But to your point, it did that was one thing. It did feel like that. If I don't do this, I just lose. There's not like, oh, maybe I don't do that, but I did all these other things.
Yeah.
It did. That's what I worry or I wonder. Is the game the same every single play in that? Okay, I have to get all 5. I have to get 15 tickets, and I have to get a couple of those. You know, is there enough opportunity for you to try different strategies to be able to win, or do you have to win the same way?
I think that you're gonna probably have to win scoring wise in a similar fashion every time, but I think with the in-game cards, it might force you to do something else because, like, all right, if one of the things we had was to be able to move our guy diagonal, which I thought I'm like that's cool. You know, I can get to a spot that's 1 away that normally is 2 away.
Yep.
I can get these guys out of my park or to Big Top.
Get out of my park.
Yeah.
So what you had to do is you had to get 2 guys above the halfway point. So I spent more turns early moving people versus, you know, at the end sometimes you feel like you're just moving people around.
Yeah.
Early I started to move people around because the goal was to get that, or there's a goal to get 3 people in a row, like 3 people connected.
So that makes it
So then it's like, all right, well, I need to now get more guests into my park. So I think maybe the method of how you get to the scoring can be different, but the scoring itself is probably going to be the same.
Yeah. I mean, we only played it one time, and like, you know, I get what you're saying about the scoring thing, but even just like Jeff said, I just enjoyed creating it and figuring out how I wanted to make it all work. And
Yeah, me
that
too.
was just like fun to me.
Yeah, the play
But I
was
can
more
see
fun.
like maybe if that wears off after like 5 plays, you want it to be a little different, and hopefully those cards are enough to make it different.
Yeah, if they weren't in there, I think it would need that as an expansion.
Yeah,
maybe
I like that
maybe
addition.
that'll do it because
and
I
the race
definitely could
aspect of
see
it, or the sneakiness that you can do. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was. That's the one thing I was hoping to find was like, how can I steal this victory? You know, it's like I feel like I can clear as day see every point you have on your board. I can see every point you have on your board, and I can see every point I have on my board. What cool ways are there to achieve?
Yeah, and it might be those. It might be those cards.
Yeah, maybe
That's the Grand Carnival or Carnival.
Carnival. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I had been wanting to play something cooperative with Natalie for a long while now, and Jaws of the Lion was my first choice. But after opening the box and feeling a bit daunted by that game, because it's even Jaws of the Lion, which is like the
Gloomhaven.
The Gloomhaven
Baby's
light,
first Gloomhaven.
Baby's first
Yeah.
Gloomhaven. That was still, I was like, there's a lot in this box. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I decided to try something a bit simpler. I backed Marvel United all in back when it was on Kickstarter, and the base game showed up about a month or so ago, way ahead of all the other expansions that I backed. I was very much looking forward to this game. The Marvel theme is really fun, and the miniatures look super cool and whimsical, and it just really spoke to me on the Kickstarter. Well, we got it to the table last weekend, and boy, was it simpler. My thought progression for the game kind of goes like this. Oh man, this is much simpler than I expected. Sweet. Well, okay, we won pretty easily. Let's try that again. Okay, same thing. Man, this is so light, the kids could play with us. Awesome, a kids game that I actually want to play. Wait a minute. This might be a game I only want to play with the kids. Wait, do I even actually want to play this game again with kids or no? Oh no, I've got like 9 more expansions coming in the mail. I've made a huge mistake. That was like my entire thought progression as we were playing Marvel United. So things I liked. No, I'm just kidding. So in this game, you're taking on the role of a Marvel superhero and fighting against a supervillain. On your turn, you play a card from your hand to this communal timeline. It has one of a couple different icons on it, either move, fight, or like the special action kind of thing. You play the card and do what the action tells you to do, which is like punching an enemy for 1 or 2 hits, moving around the location boards, or activating a special action, which is like rescuing an innocent bystander or satisfying the requirements of this location card. The timeline you play cards to allows you to work together. Each player plays their cards to this communal timeline, like I said, and the trick to it is you get to play your card, and you also get to take the action icons of the card that was played right before you, which can yield some cool tactical advantages. If you run out of cards in your deck and your hand, you lose. Everyone loses. If you kill the supervillain, you win. Things I liked. This game is boring.
You liked it? It was boring?
That was the joke.
I was like, what?
It's too simple to be
I
any
enjoy
fun.
being bored.
It's too simple. So there's this. So what I took this kind of from was in The Office. There's this scene. If you remember Gabe, he was like, him and Aaron broke up, and Andy was starting to date Aaron, and Gabe was like. Gabe was like interviewing Andy for the manager job, and he just starts yelling at him, and they go off camera, and they're like talking to Gabe, and he's like, yeah, Andy, professionally, what do I think of him professionally? Yeah, I think he's a rat. Okay, horrible guy. Personally, what do I think? He screwed up the best relationship in the office, and he just like continues to berate him. So that's kind of what I'm doing here with Marvel United. Things I liked. Man, it's boring. It's far too simple to be any fun. The kids might like it because it's Marvel, and the minis are really cool and adorable looking. They're awesome. That was the main draw for me, was the miniatures. They looked really sweet. If they were painted, it could really come alive for them. But for the adults, there's nothing. There's almost nothing here for adults. I was expecting something more along the weight of like the D&D adventure games, or even a Mice and Mystics is kind of what I was hoping for. And and what I got was a notch above Zombie Kids. It feels blank. Like the designers were like, should we invest more into the gameplay to make it more interesting, or should we just move on?
Was it a notch or a skosh?
Maybe a skosh. A couple skoshes.
Sorry, I just wanted to...
Yeah, there are ways to ramp up the difficulty, but even those are boring. You basically just remove a card from your deck, making you run out of cards faster and do less things. It was like...
Do you think the expansions just more characters?
Yeah, just more characters.
So it doesn't make the game more...
Maybe.
That's what I was going to ask.
Maybe, but no. I was like, come on.
Oh my
this
God.
could have been such a fun game if they just didn't make it not fun. Like, why didn't they just do that? Why didn't they just make it fun? If you're designing a game and you have the decision to make it fun or not fun, why would you make it not fun? Is that stupid?
Stupid.
Yeah, there was a video on there, and they were like, what do you guys think? It's not that fun. We're done. And I was like, no. Keep going. Make it fun. The cards don't even have any flavor text. It's Marvel, for fuck's sake.
It's funny. Wow. I learned this game for us.
Me too.
And like when I opened it, all of the Marvel characters I thought looked like child versions of the heroes.
They're chibi minis, so they're meant to look like
I know, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, is this a kids game? Because it's all like kids and this all the pictures are kids.
There's no flavor text on the cards. It's Marvel. Theme is everything in a Marvel game.
Yeah.
Right? The cards are literally just an icon vehicle. They're a card. It'll have like a generic picture of the Hulk, and then it'll have like a punch icon. And that's literally all you do with the card. It's a punch. So you're punching
you get one
somebody.
punch.
You get one.
Yeah.
One
So you could sub in any theme. It could just
anything.
It could be the Gamecasters fighting
Absolutely.
against, being friends official.
Obesity.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, we tried it twice, and we even switched villains. We switched characters that we each had, and it was basically the same.
It could have been a bag builder, honestly, where different icons were just thrown into the bag and you pulled one out every time. Like,
don't tell people your great ideas.
Cards. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's how you make it fun. So that actually, the game. Okay, the game is too light, too simple, too soulless. How they managed to remove the soul from a Marvel game is a difficult task that they achieved with great stuff. So that's 10
nice
out of 10.
job.
10 out of 10 for that.
Is this some of the stuff you like?
Things I didn't like. Even the card stock is flimsy and thin and boring and underproduced and just unfinished. The whole game just feels unfinished. Like, this was the game I was talking about a second ago, and I said there was a game, we were looking at it, and the card stock is all flimsy and this Marvel United. It's like, the second you put the card stock on the table, they warp all out of whack. Because it's like thinnest.
Lame.
Like, it's so bad. And now I understand this is like, I think you can get this game in Target. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's like mass market kind of produced.
Okay.
And so it's got to be inexpensive.
Yeah. Sure.
Right? So a lot of those cut cornery things they did probably for that, to try to appeal to a larger base.
Is it a $35 game probably?
I think it's that or even cheaper. Okay. Yeah, it's not expensive. But okay, I would not play this game unless you just cannot stay away from the miniatures, because the miniatures are cool.
They do look cool.
And if your kids love Marvel more than anything, and gameplay doesn't matter as much as flushing your money down the garbage disposal, which would be fun for about 10 seconds until you realize, oh my God, that's my money.
And my garbage disposal.
If that's you, buy this game. Otherwise, you got to stay away from this game. It's not good. It's not good.
I have a question. Do you think Cameron could play this game by himself with his friends?
Yes.
Is it
absolutely
that light?
It is so. Yes, it's. I could teach. So I could teach him this game in 5 minutes.
Okay. Because there are kids games that you play. You can play with kids, but you have to be like supervised.
Yeah.
And that's another. Well, see, that's another point that I did not think. This game was not marketed as a kids game, but it feels like a kids game.
It really feels like
it is so. It feels like a game you'd find at Target. Honestly, that's what it feels like. Yeah. It feels like a game. Like, oh, this is a Marvel game. You take it home and you play it. And,
no offense to Jaws of the Lion, who's at Target. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but like it feels like a mass market.
Yeah.
Type of game instead of a game designed.
Not a hobby game.
Yeah, not
too bad.
Come on.
Because it does have a cool look. It does have cool
yeah,
menus.
It's awesome.
It is too bad. And like even like I said, we played 2 times. After the first time, we were like, that was so easy. Let's switch it up. We did play with the villain that they recommended you play your first game, and so we're like, let's play with a different villain. And we even were like reading about him, and we're like, okay,
this one seems like the most complex.
We're like, this seems harder. Like, we're like, oh, this is probably gonna be more challenging, and it really wasn't at all. And another thing that I was gonna say, at first when we learned it, I thought it sounded cool to have that storyline.
Yeah, that was the coolest
the
mechanism.
Villain goes and you like place his card, and you're supposed to create like a storyline. So the next to the villain's card, you place like one of the hero's cards, and then the next hero card.
So
and
kind of like a fight, right?
Yeah, and so you can like look at it. Well, instead of being cool, because we didn't really care, it just kept getting too long. And it didn't fit on the table, so then we just kept having to scrunch
it up because you don't
up.
ever call back to them. You only ever call back to the card right immediately. That's before the card.
Like 1 or 2
play.
cards before you, and that's all you really need to see. And so I was like, okay, well that ended up being kind of dumb.
Yeah, it was stupid and fiddly.
Yeah,
and dumb. So this game's awesome. I'm going to keep it in my collection probably forever.
Sandman X82 will be doing an auction pretty soon on BGG.
I want to get Marvel United.
Probably a Christmas auction.
I was saying another thing I didn't like either that I thought.
Was your opponent
was like the ways that you so how you have to like rescue so many people or kill so many
bitches.
What are they called?
No, they're in the bitch bag.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
What are like the non-villain? What are they called?
What, henchmen?
Henchmen? Is that? I don't think that's what they're called, but we'll call them that. So you have to like rescue so many people or like kill so many henchmen, or you have to like
Suck so many do.
Fulfill these cards or whatever. Those are the only 3 things that you have to do. You have
Every
to complete,
game.
You have to complete
Every
2
time.
of them to be able to even touch the villain. But those 3 things are the same. Like there's only 3 and that's
Yeah,
it.
they
You
don't
can't
ever
switch them
change.
out.
Okay,
so
so
that's
each villain
another
doesn't
like
have, like-
that's another like little
kill
kiddie
by-
feel. Like
kill
it's just
bystanders.
simple. It's like
Kill henchmen, rescue
did you say?
bystanders. I said kill bystanders.
It's not like well, and one of those things. A game like Horrified is a Target game. You can go get it at Target. But I think one of the appeals of that game, which
Yeah,
is
all these
also a
different
lighter
monsters.
game, is there's
Yeah.
different monsters and they all have different rules, right? Or different winning
Yeah.
conditions.
Well, so okay, the different villains do have different rules.
yes.
But you're right that the winning condition is the same.
The winning condition.
The winning
is the same.
condition is the
Yeah,
same.
it's just their villain has different ways they hurt you or different things that they do. To
Yeah, some
hurt,
just
you
launch
know.
like assaults, or insults at you, and that hurts you that way.
and they're
it's
not like specific to the character. It's not like Red Skull has something Red Skull related, or maybe.
Well, let's see.
I
So
don't
we did
know.
play with Red Skull.
just trying- I'm
Red
grasping
Skull
at
was the
straws
first
here.
one
Yeah,
I played with.
it's bad, dude. It's bad. So all right, there's like a ton of expansions coming. Admittedly, I think they're just more
More the
characters and more miniatures. I don't think there's like big changes to the complexity of the game.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong there.
So if you want a
even-
new and shrink expansions,
yeah, exactly. Just
Well,
wait
even,
a
like,
couple.
The
wait a little
characters,
bit.
like they're all the, and maybe I'm wrong because I don't remember Ryan, so correct me. But like all of the characters or like the heroes, they're the same. They just have just the amount of like attack versus, special action versus move is just different. They're
Yeah, there's no. It's
bad.
all the exact same.
it's all the
stuff.
same
You
moves,
either
but
have
like
a
maybe
punch-
Hulk has more punches in his deck
Yeah,
than
he does.
this one does.
Because,
He should. Hulk smash.
But like that's the only difference. There's not like some
More
special
punches.
thing they get to do. I
got
mean,
those
I guess
punches.
a few cards have like a special, move you can do, but like hardly any of the cards have that. So it wasn't like something you're like using.
and that's too
all
bad.
The
And
time.
like you look at Marvel
Ew.
Champions, which like all those cards are so specific and different. and
yeah,
that's
Yep.
too bad.
It's a bummer.
it was.
It's a bummer. So go buy this game if you hate fun.
From Sandman X82 on Board Game Geek.
Yeah, buy it from me.
Send it to the send your request to the Gamecasters
You can
podcast
buy all
at
the expansions
gmail.com.
too.
Yeah,
All right, Jeff. What else you got?
I have a game.
Expansions.
We haven't talked about Stonemeyer in a while.
It's been a while.
Shall
Are they
we?
back in the news?
Shall we? They're not in the news.
Okay.
No, because I don't know if their Pendulum has been their last release. They did release the Wingspan second expansion.
Expansion.
What is it?
Oceania.
Oceania, like Mega City Oceania.
Oceania.
Yeah.
So Oceania, which I don't have, so we're not talking about that.
Yep, me neither.
What we're going to talk about, I'm just going to do this briefly, is the Tapestry expansion.
Tapestry.
So, have you guys played that since that first?
One time. We played it one time. So I wonder what that means for us. Do we not like it really?
No,
Why
I've been
haven't we
wanting
played
to
again?
play it. It's
Get it on the
on-
table.
Yeah.
Put
Okay.
it on the
Move
table.
Fine, I will.
Amerigo's sitting here.
I just
Yeah,
know
get rid
that
of
like
Amerigo.
probably the last
that
like
duel.
6 months, maybe even more.
She's about to blame this
I
on
like,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
I'm like,
in
he's like, what do you want to play? And I'm
comes the
always be
Ryan
like,
blame.
Tapestry or this or this.
And
And
it's
he's like,
always
not
or this.
Tapestry.
Oh, that's what I say, huh? Not tapestry.
That's what you say.
Well,
I don't want to play that one. And so I
cocky.
want to play it.
Okay.
You're the one who doesn't really.
So maybe you
want
don't. Natalie likes it more than you.
Maybe.
But you've only played it once. It's been so long.
I loved it though, man. It was so weird. Like we
Get
played
it on
it.
the
that's
table.
what's
I was like,
weird.
sweet.
Yeah.
But
So here's what
playing it
they.
again.
So they have an expansion up,
I'm a weirdo.
which I would
Yep.
I would suggest looking into. Obviously, play it again, just the base game. But so this is the first expansion. It's called Plans and Ploys.
it's not working.
Brett is silent.
Ryan is trying to eat while I discuss things,
Fine.
as I call the usual.
I'm trying, but it's not
The
working.
usual, but he's eating bread, so
It's not making a crunch
What's
noise.
that chewing obsession?
Mastication.
Yeah, no, is that what it is?
Well, that's what chewing
That's
is.
what chewing is. What's that word where people watch other people
Oh,
eat?
ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR.
Weird. Okay. So this is the first
Chewing
expansion.
obsession. Oh God, I'm
God, I'm
obsessed.
obsessed with it.
Can't wait to hear you chew.
I don't even swallow.
What are some of your hobbies? Well, I play
kidding,
board
I
games. I
swallow.
love to chew, and it's just something I really like doing. I assume that this is going to be a game that's probably going to keep putting like expansions out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a game that's easily expandable. So this one is called Plans and Ploys, which I wrote down as Plans and Plots, but it's definitely called Plans and Ploys.
It was a typo.
It's like it just has a lot
typo
of,
by
you
your
add a
hand.
plot to
your
it.
hand,
Yeah.
your hand accidentally autocorrected.
So there's a few new things in the game, and this would fall into the category that I think the three of us talk about are expansions that we like, where they're small additions. The teaching time is not extra. There's not extra crap you have to set up or shuffle in or take out at the end of the game. They're just, I feel like, really good additions to the game.
Do you just
So
like add it and goodbye?
I will never take these out. So it's 10 new civilizations. So the base game comes with some amount that some other people
Some
know.
less than that.
Probably. No, there's probably 10 plus in the base game.
Oh yeah, you mean the
Who you are.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So the civilization would be that, and then so it comes with 10 new civilizations, and also on the back of the rule book there's some official adjustments to the original ones. So every time so every time you played Tapestry, you could go on to Stonemaier or Board Game Geek had a forum that you said what all the civilizations were that you played with, what the scores were, and people then talked about what adjustments should be made. Is this clearly
so it's almost
overpowered
after production playtesting?
Yeah. Is this, because and I for how much a game is like play tested, for let's say the base game came with 20 of these civilizations.
Yeah,
if they came with 20 civilizations, how many so and then how many different strategies for that? So I thought it was kind of cool that he took that data, right? He took the data and did something with it. So like, is this the strongest one? When anybody plays with this civilization, they seem to be beating everyone. So how can we then adjust it? So there's some that start with a less resource. So, okay, well, you only start with 3 instead of 4 resources. Or you start with -5 points. Just straight up, you lose 5 points to start the game. So you start at -5.
That so much.
And I'm sure some people hate it.
I'm sure they do.
And I'm sure some people ignore it. But it says in the back, here are the adjustments that the designers have made based on feedback, based on everything we've had.
The expansion rules.
And that was one, somebody asked for why didn't you just reprint and send us the adjustments on there? And then he said, well, people don't want to do that. People want to play the game for how it was produced, or people aren't playing it enough to know, this is so overpowered. It wins all the time because we play this 100 times. So there are some adjustments for that. That was very cool. They're just new Tapestry cards, so you just shuffle those in. The Tapestry cards, if you remember, are the cards that you draw throughout the game, and then you play it when you're done.
Yep.
But there is one, if you remember, there's like a trap card that is really the only interaction you have on the military board.
Okay.
So if you remember the military, you move.
Yep.
If you just go on to another spot, you just kind of tip that person over. Right, that's it. But there is a trap card that was in the base game that you could play, and it's like, haha, you tip over instead of that person. So there's a little bit of, there's a couple other cards in there that kind of respond to a trap. So there's a small amount of interaction in the military, which I think is fine. It's not going to come up all the time. So it's not like a huge thing where now all of a sudden we have to roll dice and we have to fight and we have to do that. Right. It's just this card might be a surprise, might be another cool kind of interaction thing. There's a couple more space tiles. Remember, if you get the end of the space thing, you get the rocket ship and some extra space tiles. And then the last thing, which I think is my favorite and the best addition of the game, are called landmark cards. And you get one at the beginning of the game. So you look, you take one and you pass it. And it has a little private goal for you to achieve. Okay. So it's like somewhere for you to start right away. The goals are very easy. They're like collect a certain amount of the military tiles or advance this far on the track. They're not really difficult goals, so it's something you'll probably complete in the first half of the game.
Okay.
And then your reward, once you complete it, you're like, I'm done, and you get to add, it's a new building. So you then add a building onto your civilization map. So it's another way to get a building out, which then fills up your civilization board quicker, which then gives you, resources once you fill up the 3x3 or the whatever it is, 9x9, and then points if you fill up rows. So I thought that was just a really easy addition to go, all right, this is now my goal for a little bit, and then I get to fill up my board even faster, which I always kind of struggle with, because if I don't go up some of these tracks, I don't get to add this stuff to my board as quickly.
Yeah.
And if other people are doing it so fast, I'm like, all right, well, at least I know I can get this building onto my board and kind of plan it out. So I thought that was kind of cool. One of the landmarks building is a board game store, which I thought was
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So those are just, that's the Tapestry expansion. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, I'm never taking these things out, other than I need to figure out how they fit in the box, because the new buildings don't fit in the old box.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But the cards will stay shuffled in. I will always play with those landmark cards. They're such an easy. It's like a 5-second extra teach. It's nothing additional. So I think if you don't like all these extra rules with expansions, this is one to just almost like a plug and play.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is my least favorite thing about expansions, is when the content of the expansion doesn't fit in the main box, and now I got to dedicate an additional spot for one game on my shelf.
You can take the main, how they're all had their own spots.
Yep.
You can take that out and the box is humongous.
Yeah.
But I like them fitting in there.
No.
I'm sure they'll make
just want everything.
I know. I'm sure they'll make something that'll be cool. And
there's first world problems here.
Yeah.
What is this voice I'm doing? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep
So that's
doing
it. Tapestry. Plans and
It's
what?
First World
Ploys.
Whiner. That's First World
Yeah,
Whiner.
it sounds like a whiner.
Yeah.
Plans and ploys. Okay, cool.
Oh, this board game doesn't even fit on my shelf. Can you imagine the frustration that I have when I buy all
I
these
have
board
the
games and I
Pull
can't fit them onto my shelves? Okay?
Another highly anticipated Kickstarter game Natalie and I got in the mail recently was Fossilis.
I got that one.
Jeff and I backed this
Did
one
you
a
play
year
it?
or so ago. Shut up, Natalie, and it finally showed up.
I have nothing to say about Fossilis other than some production value stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
It's pretty back.
it's purdy.
It is
Good
looking. It's got like, what is that, like a foil?
Foil.
Oh,
Yeah, the
man.
foily-
I just like moving it
What did
around.
you say? Come on, say it.
Hey, good looking. Is
Is that going to be your new catchphase, Jeff?
Hey, oh, maybe. No, it's Natalie's. She already did it now.
Natalie's
Anytime there's like a good looking game,
you got to sing that. Hey, good looking.
what's the next line? Like, what you been cooking?
What's Natalie's stomach cooking? Oh,
right?
it was off the cuff. I didn't plan that.
It just happened.
How rude.
I'm sorry. I love you. You're so
Oh,
pretty.
man.
The first thing to notice about Fossilis is the incredible production quality. It is. Oh, have you opened the box?
Yep.
Wow, is it
It's
impressive?
so cool. I just opened it and like touched it.
Yeah, right. I was so close.
I just
touched
wanted
it.
to touch the little.
From the cards to the dig site to the tiles to the bone components, this game is pretty awesome in both look and feel. But what about play? Let's get into it, all right?
What's wrong
In
with you?
Fossilis, you
Is
are
this gonna fade
archaeologists
out, or is this
digging
just
up
gonna happen?
dinosaur bones in an excavation site to try and score the most victory points by the end of the game.
Okay, this is my most favorite thing in the world is when he explains rules to games.
The game plays
In this
over a
voice.
certain number of rounds, which are basically determined by the players, which is cool. Each player gets 4 action points. That's right, 4 little action points to spend each turn, which can be spent doing a number of different sexy things, like moving around the dig site, removing tiles from the dig site, excavating boners and hammers from the dig site, and taking plaster up which is both the currency used to excavate bones needed to buy dinosaur cards, as well as a timer for the game. The game ends once the pool of plaster has been removed a certain number of times, depending on player count, and then points are awarded. The big points are awarded for basically completing these different dinosaur cards, which are cool. They're like these oversized cards.
Yeah.
Did you like take those
Yeah,
out?
they're
So
cool.
they're really cool. And what this game has that stupid Marvel United doesn't have, great game, buy it for me, is flavor text on the dinosaur cards.
I saw
you
that.
got a dinosaur. You expect to learn something about this dinosaur, and those expectations are met in
I wanna
Fossilis.
learn.
You learn.
It's like Wingspan.
You know what
Yeah.
a Dipthosaurus is, or a
I'm not sure I even read any of that.
Cocchiosaurus.
How many people
or a
love
Vaginotron.
Wingspan for that reason? How many people read bird facts about Wingspan when they do it?
Yes.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
So, like-
I think people have incorporated that. Is it Ben and M that they say you're not allowed to play a card unless
Yeah.
you read the bird fact?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah.
it's just cool.
I want to know what Vaginodon does.
Oh
you know
my
what
God.
kind of
Vaginodon.
and Cocchiosaurus. What are those? What? Let's learn about the game. Is really cool. I talked about the components, which I like. The artwork is also very good.
Yeah.
The dinosaur cards are oversized and really fun to look at. There's the flavor text that I talked about a second ago, which just really gives you some awesome history about the Vaginodon. It's really cool and good for kids.
Oh, yeah, great.
Oh
yeah, the
my
Vaginodon's good for
God.
kids. Yeah, this is where we've ended up. Natalie
This is what happens when you
did her
don't-
catchphrase.
This is when you
Oh,
don't
God,
proofread
Ryan.
your script. You say
Natalie needs to read this before
I
we
shouldn't go off screen. Oh my god, it's really cool for the kids who are interested in dinosaurs. I really like the action point mechanism. How am I going to spend my actions this round? How am I going to set myself up for a sweet turn next round? I want more action points, damn it. So the game was really good. Here's what I didn't like. This game is touted as a game suitable for kids. But Vaginodon and Cocchiosaurus are in there? How are kids like
it
how are
really?
kids expect
not okay.
No, they're not.
I know Vagisaurus and Cocko. I know those aren't real. I mean, is it really tailored towards kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Kid-ish, not Scarlet, but like not 4-year-olds.
Like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think we can play. Shut up.
Natalie. Oh my god. Okay. Natalie and I played with the normal rules all thrown in. And as it is that way, I think it's too difficult and thinky to play with kids that are younger
Yeah.
than young adult. I think it's good for young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are a bunch of rules. This is what's cool about the rule book. I don't have it handy, obviously. I'm like looking around for it. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
looking
you're
up
about to
here.
grab it.
Kids Table does this for a lot.
There
It's good.
is a bunch of rules in the game that we played with in the normal game, and you can basically turn off any of them that you want to. And so it's basically like they're like, okay, here's all the rules, and here's 5 different things in the rules that you can just not use. Like, I'm guessing they've play tested it without this rule and without this rule and without this rule. And so, essentially the thought process is there, you're tailoring this to kids of all different, varying ages, which is a cool thing. The thing that I felt about it, though, is you can just not play with a bunch of stuff that will make the game work for younger kids, but you're also removing those parts of the game that make it any kind of fun for the grown-ups to play.
Yeah.
Just because you can make a game playable by removing mechanisms doesn't always mean that you should. And I have not tried it without these other rules, but Natalie and I playing it, I was shocked at how it was thinky. Like, it was like, I was expecting
a lot.
After you played Marvel United, I was expecting another kids level Marvel United game.
You got stupefied.
I got, I was like,
you got dumber
this
after
is
playing
actually
that.
hard. And I liked that it was hard. You know what I mean? I always love when
what
it's
she
hard.
said.
Yeah. Every time it gets hard, I love it.
Let me ask you a question then.
Vaginadon.
You want me to interrupt you or you want to finish?
Yeah, interrupt me.
So there are games where, I'm okay with thinking through something where the mechanics are easy, right? So,
Yep.
are the mechanics easy enough for a kid to play and just not be good at?
I don't think the way it's the normal game, no, I don't think so. I think it's too difficult.
Yeah.
Unless if your kid's like 13 or 14, yeah, of course, easy. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Like a
they can handle
teenager
it.
could. Yeah.
My kids, no, not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Not
the way the
elementary
rules
kids.
are as normal. And it's not even overtly difficult, the mechanisms, but there's no way they would have any clue what to do.
Right.
They would just
figuring
be
out
like,
what to do. And,
that's the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
like they would be able to figure out that, okay, I can spend 1 point to move 1 space. That's easy. But why do they want to do that is what is the part. And so it's the mental part that is in my opinion, is above kids older, younger than 12 maybe.
Yeah.
If you're 12 or older, I think they could probably put that together. And this is not a blanket statement, right? There's kids out there who are younger who play heavier games. There's exceptions to that rule. Personally, I don't think this is as much of a kid game the way it is normally put out. 8 and up. Yeah, okay. So I don't Cameron would not, and that has nothing to do with Cameron's intelligence level.
Oh, no, I think it would
Lexi
be
and
too
Cameron would just be like,
difficult
"What?
for him to
I don't know what to do."
understand.
We'd have to dumb it down. We'd have to remove some of these rules, and then personally, I feel like, okay, now it's not fun for me because now we're just because the stuff that's in there that you would take out is what made it fun for us.
Right.
So I'm gonna try it with them and see because I could be wrong.
Yeah,
this is
report
all
back.
in my head. Yeah, this is all in my head. I don't know. So I can't believe I'm gonna say this. As of right now, I would rather play. I don't want to say that. I think Marvel United would work more as a kids game than this. As of right this
I
moment,
agree.
Marvel United sucks. Fossilis is good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but take that for what it's worth. If you're specifically looking to buy this game to play with your children,
Yeah.
I don't personally think that the way the normal rules are, it works that way. Unless your kids are older, okay? So where does that leave this game? Firmly, to me, planted in kind of the good, not greatish territory. The components are so awesome. They're so awesome. And it plays okay. It's fun. It doesn't do anything that different or unique enough to stand out or make me excited to come back to it. Like we didn't finish our play and we weren't just like, wow, that was awesome. We were just kind of like, oh, that was okay. That was fun. Because it was fun. You know what I mean? There was nothing bad about it. But it's sort of kind of like a random tactical game about hoping that the bones in this dig site are randomly where your guy is.
It's like real
And that
life
you have
paleontology.
it's like paleontology.
It's like
I hope
real
that
life
they're
digging.
where I am.
They don't know where they're digging. Like, oh, I'm going to find this bone right here on this dig site. No, they just dig holes.
Right. So it's random. And so there's a lot of opportunities for, okay, these dinosaur cards come out, and these dinosaur cards are what you need to score.
Yeah.
And you need bones to score them because thematically you're building the dinosaur with the bones that you excavate, which is cool.
Yeah.
But if Natalie happens to uncover a dig site that has a skull, which is the most, it's just like 12 points just straight up for that skull, and a rib, which happens to work for that one dinosaur card that gives her 20 points, and I'm at the other end of the dig site, and I'm only getting bones and like femur bones, which are like the leader. That did happen a couple times where it's like, now I'm at the other end. Like I have all the good stuff here, and she's at the other end, and it's gonna have to spend. Because only have 4 action points. She's gonna spend her whole turn to get over there. And it just worked out for me. And that card, I lucked into this card at the very end of the game, almost Takenoko-ish, where because there's a set collection aspect to this. Your dinosaur cards, which is really cool. Your dinosaur cards have icons on them. And it's like another way to score points. So you score points by completing these dinosaur cards with the bones that you excavate, which is the main way to score points, which is cool. But at the end of the game, there's this set collection. And if you have a certain number of these type of icons, you score additional points. And I really liked that. However...
Like, you definitely wouldn't do that with kids.
Yeah, there's no way the kids would understand that. Yeah. But the cool thing was... Or the thing that kind of was a bummer about how I like that, at the very end of the game, I had like 1 turn left. And I was looking at my icons and Natalie's icons, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm screwed." And I took a thing and I drew a card and I took it and I was like, "Oh, that one card gives me everything, and now I'm gonna beat her."
Yep.
And it was like, "Oh, that kind of sucks."
Yeah.
It
was kind of fun to do the set collection thing. I was like, I was looking at like both of our cards and I was like, "Oh, he's totally got the points in the set collection thing." And we were like going back and it was literally back and forth.
I win. You win.
I was like, "Okay,
win.
this
you
one,
win.
yeah, Ryan wins. This one, Natalie wins.
We
This one,
tied,
Ryan wins."
right? We tied overall, and I think I won the tiebreaker
because I think there was like 9. Oh yeah, and we tied in the set collection too, right?
Because of your extra bone.
Yeah,
because we tied one. But no, you're right. We tied the game, but you won.
But if I don't pull that card at the end, I lose by 15 or 20 points.
Yeah. So that kind
of... Instead, I just happened to draw this card I needed. And I never like that in games. I never like I just randomly flip a card up and that makes me win. Like I did nothing for that.
And then there just happened to be cards out that didn't work for me.
But that didn't make me hate the game.
No.
It was just after we got to the end of it and we were like, okay.
Yeah.
We saw this game. That's okay. I don't know that it's gonna earn a spot in the collection unless we try it with the kids and they love it.
Yeah, maybe they'll show you.
Yeah, they might really like it. So
they're definitely like trying to pick the bones out with the tweezers.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's cool.
That's like the fun little
There's
thing.
a lot to like about this game. The theme is done very well.
Yeah.
The way you set up the board is really kind of cool. You're like shaking the bones around. It's awesome. The tiles are like bakelite, which is awesome. And you're building this like thing, and it's like this. You get this visceral reaction, like seeing it, and then Natalie said you got these tweezers. You're like tweezing out the bone.
You like uncover like what's in there?
Yeah.
Ooh,
oh my
cool.
gosh, that's cool. What does that do for me? And then you're like. You determine when the game ends. I didn't go through any rules. I can't believe it. But you like there's this plaster that's on these cards, and that's an action you can take. And you have to take plaster because plaster is the way you actually are able to get the bones. And but when you take plaster, the more plaster you take, that's the timer of the game. So if I take all the plaster, now the game's going by, it's going to end. You can end the game that way. Right. So that's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. It's just personally for us, I'm going to speak for you here. I think that we, at the end of it, we were just kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, wow, I can't wait to play this again. It's one of the best games I've played this year. I don't think it's going to earn a spot on our shelves, which are already jam-packed. We need, only play an 8. What was that?
Yeah, don't play an 8.
Don't play an 8. Yeah, we only want games higher than that.
Yeah.
So I don't think this would be there for us, but
unless the kids, it works out with the kids.
Unless the kids work out, but that's not to say that this is going to be that way for everybody. This is just my opinion and Natalie's opinion. I don't think this is like Jeff. You might play it and be like, "This is freaking awesome," or Devin might love it. You know,
yeah.
Everything is subjective.
Because, like you said, it's not a bad game. Like it was good. I just wasn't like pumped.
Yeah, it didn't give me that feeling. You know, that like wow. So that's that. Man.
Yeah, I remember getting frustrated with that plaster because, like you said, that's the timer of the game, and there's only so much, and
that was a bummer.
And you needed to get a plaster to get bones, and so like if it's the last round of the game, and I'm like, bones. I want to get this, I want to fulfill this last card to get points to try to win, but there's no more plaster left. Well, or I don't have a way to get it.
Should have taken it earlier now.
Oh well.
You should have known your bones.
No, that's a good point. The plaster was toit.
It was toit
because you couldn't just hoard it because you had to.
What?
You licked your lip. You were like,
I'm sorry, my lips are so
She's
chapped.
chapstick.
I've been trying to
some
find
chapstick.
a time to run upstairs and get chips.
oh my gosh. All right, you can do it right now because I'd like to take a quick second to talk to you all about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com and the Gateway Network on Instagram. There's some underscores in there, but Jeff doesn't like that, so I'm not going to say it. The sole purpose of the network is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the gatewaynetwork.com website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They're all amazing people who produce fantastic content, so go over there and give them a look, and maybe you'll find your new most favorite content creator. Today, we're going to specifically highlight our member, Bad Board Game Covers. Jeff calls him...
Oh, the Haitian sensation.
Phil is the mastermind behind this Instagram account, all about engaging and interacting with different members of the Instagram community. Phil makes some insanely fun content, whether he's doing his normal guess the games in the box cover challenge or doing his brackets, like which game has the best characters that you can vote on. Every single thing Phil does is for the community engagement and making sure that we all have a good time interacting with each other. That's the exact kind of thing the Gateway is all about. Content creators of all different sorts coming together to create a better, more engaging board gaming world. So go on, give Phil, the Haitian sensation, and Bad Board Game Covers a follow on Instagram and get involved with the awesome things he does. So whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. So, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm here.
Natalie
Present.
is peeing or something.
Yeah, she's doing something for sure.
Yeah, she really wants some chapstick, but I heard the pipes go.
She's coming. Hold on. Hey, Natalie's back.
girl.
Hey, so glad to have you.
We weren't talking about the
Gateway
possibility
Network
that you pooped.
is a place
I
that...
didn't poop.
We didn't even say that, Natalie. Why'd you even bring that up?
All right, so
You just said it.
the show is we're organizing things a little differently this show. Normally, this is the time where we would do the Instagram inbox. We're going to save that for a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah.
So we're going to also not have a board game beatdown this episode.
So good night, everybody.
Which is crazy. We're done. We'll see you next
episode is
episode
over.
57. So we're going to hop into the game of the episode right now. However, right
my
before we
favorite part.
do that, there was this fat guy eating burritos that I saw on Instagram.
I know that
and
guy.
He massaged me.
What?
I was trying to say message, but it came out
Message.
massaged.
Oh.
He massaged me with his burrito fingers.
Burrito fingers.
Greasy fingers.
His fingers are burritos.
Yeah, his fingers are burrito. Or did he just eat burritos?
he just
and
ate
they're all
burritos.
greasy with burrito grease.
Either one.
I don't know. Burrito grease might be a good way to get massage.
His name's Dan.
A good substitute for
He's a
massage
good
oil.
guy.
Dan, the fat man eating burritos, a fat guy eating burritos.
yeah.
I feel like I'm insulting him every time I say
You also
that.
need to know
No,
that that's his Instagram name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
fat
heard he
guy
only weighs
eating
like
burritos.
160. So it's like a like when they call like a big giant guy tiny. It's like the other way. He's a really small guy called a fat guy eating burritos.
Fat guy
I'm
in a
making
little
that up. I have no
coat.
idea.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have no idea what he actually.
But on Instagram, he's a
weight
fat
is.
guy eating burritos.
And so
with some underscores.
he is one of the only Gamecasters benefactors.
I know. He's a very generous
He's part of the
guy. He's
Gamecaster Benefactor Club.
awesome.
He started the club. And he's just been, oh God, what a generous human being this person is.
Yep.
He puts us all to shame.
Mm-hmm.
I read the things he says to me and the messages he sends me, and it fills me with a lot of positive and negative emotions. Positive because, wow, what a great guy. Negative because, man, I'm a piece of shit. So what Dan has generously offered this time is to do something for you all. You know from listening to the last episode that Jeff received some or quacks
I'm
of
not gonna tell you.
Quedlinburg.
Nope.
No, Orleans.
Nope.
No,
Wait, what are you
Underwater
trying to say?
Cities.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Underwater Cities Geek Up Bits, and you know that we received twice.
Twice.
Thrice.
And Natalie has received a couple of exit games,
Cool.
which we went through and played one, and we killed
No
it,
way.
dude. We
no.
killed
We didn't
it.
tell you that?
Yeah, we
No,
killed it.
so you looked up the answers? Is that how you killed it?
We didn't even use, dude. We didn't even use one.
No, you didn't.
I know.
Okay, well, you used one, but it was we already knew what it said.
Yeah, we were like, well, we know.
Did you videotape this or take a picture? Or anything?
No,
We actually,
Yeah, I know.
well, it was
Wait, there might
only
be
a
a picture.
2 difficulty,
No evidence.
but
And then I
still,
bet
we
you threw
did
it away afterwards. No one will ever see it.
What you're supposed to do.
It was really fun. And,
Good. I'm
and
glad.
we
It was sweet.
I'm
actually
glad the
did
love
it.
is coming back because I know
Yeah,
Natalie
it was-
loves those.
I
But
It was
do.
awesome.
I
It
was-
was It was the
Who cares?
I was
Who
very
cares? It's
happy
still fun.
because
but it was really fun.
Ryan gets very frustrated and feels stupid.
I feel stupid.
And
Yeah.
so like that, it was good. Maybe he'll
Good.
be willing to play another
Yeah.
one since we won that
I
one.
bet.
So Dan has, Dan is the reason for my rekindling with maybe the exit and unlock games potentially. So what he has offered this time, I'm just going to read his message. What he said.
Okie doke.
All right, I'm just going to read it. Okay.
Just read it.
Just read it.
Ryan, it sounds like you're bulging a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
in the
yeah.
last episode.
Yeah, we
I
knew
can
this
Hear it
was
coming out of your...
What?
That was his. This isn't a real message tone of voice.
I
He
know.
knows that. Jeff knows me. Okay. He says, so since I have like 30 hours overtime this week, what do you say about a holiday contest for the show? A random listener. I'll check their BGG want list and see if we can make someone a little happier for Christmas. Dan wants to
How
gift
awesome.
a game to you. Yes, you. Yes, you. Are you saying me? Yes, you.
Me?
He wants to
No,
give
not me.
you a game. Not Jeff, not Natalie, maybe
Yeah.
me, because I listen to us.
We listen to us too.
What we're going to have you do to enter into this contest is all you have to do. You don't have to do much. Create a story on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, email us at the Gamecasters podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
And
Or call Ryan at 248. No, I'm kidding.
we will that will enter you into the
Contest.
It'll enter you into our podcast. Apparently,
you are now a member of the podcast thanks to Dan.
It'll enter you into a contest to
Might
get
make a story.
game
from
from
a fat guy.
eating burritos.
Fat guy, yeah. So here's what I want you to say on your story that you create. I want you to say, what do I want him to say?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I want you to say, I want a game from a fat guy eating burritos.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want you to say. You don't have to tag it, but I want you to say that. I want a game from a fat guy eating burritos. You need to tag the Gamecasters and Mad Board Gamer to be eligible for this. Okay? That's all you have to do. You do that, you create a story saying, I want a game from a
Yeah.
fat guy eating burritos.
Something about
tagging
getting
the
a game
Gamecasters,
from a fat guy.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that exact
tagging the
phrase.
Make sure you tag
Gamecasters,
us.
tagging Mad Board Gamer, tag the Gateway Network too, please, and then you're entered. Or send an email if you don't have an Instagram.
Yeah, if you don't have any
that'll
social
enter you,
media.
and we will pick the winner, doing our normal wheel of
the wheel of
wheel of
names.
names random thing that we do next episode, and then Dan will gift you a game for the holidays.
Yeah, how cool. We also have a
Cool.
Facebook group, so we'll because maybe
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
you
on
could do it on
Facebook, you can put it on
Facebook.
Facebook
Yep.
and the Facebook group as well.
call.
Yes. If you're a member of the Gamecasters Facebook group, go ahead and do it. If you're there and you're not on Instagram, go ahead. Basically, we
would
want
yeah.
anyone who listens to be able to be eligible.
Yeah.
So it's not just for Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. Any kind of social.
Email,
basically,
Facebook,
share
Instagram.
us.
Yeah,
Okay?
we
Yeah.
send.
Tag us.
We want a lot of people in because we send Mr. Measles enough games.
He has gotten too many
Mr.
games from
Measles
us.
just keeps winning things.
Yep.
He won my giveaway.
Yep.
And that wasn't even a listener giveaway. It was just a giveaway. And he
Yeah.
won.
So you can enter Mr. Measles, but just so you know,
We are unspinning that wheel
not
if it lands on
happening
you.
this time.
Oh, but that's
bro.
local. That's local pickup. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
But he's sending it.
You and
Never
that
mind.
little teaching career of yours can just go play all the
Not
games
local
we
for
already gave
Dan.
you.
He'll probably win. Measles will
Just
probably
kidding.
win.
Mr. Measles is always eligible.
Mrs. Measles. Will
Mrs.
probably
Measles,
Win.
yeah,
Yeah.
she'll win, and that's totally cool. Okay. So how awesome. Dan, you're
That's
the best, the greatest guy in the world, and Natalie hates you, but I think you're so awesome.
That's not true.
It's not true. I heard it's not true.
Well, what do you think about him?
I think he's awesome. He sent me 2 exits.
That's the only reason you think he's awesome?
No.
I think he's awesome not because he sent me games, but because he's funny.
Well, I also think he's funny, and I think that he's
funny.
didn't he do that thing for us where
Yeah,
he's
he
going
did.
back and like listening to old episodes so that you can put in
Yeah, he wants to help
information?
annotate.
Yeah.
Help me annotate. Is
He's
annotate
awesome.
the word?
Yeah. Also, he's
Dan
like gives us a
is
lot of
the man.
compliments, and he's really nice.
What a guy.
Yeah. Yay, Dan. So
Fat
cool
guy
giveaway.
eating
I'm
burritos.
excited
Yes, I
for
can't
someone to
wait.
win.
Me too.
Yeah.
I want to know who it is and what game they want.
Yeah.
And I hope it costs like thousands of dollars. Just kidding. So Dan can be like, no.
He
Nah.
spent all his overtime money on
Yeah,
it.
all his overtime money.
Yeah.
Or what if like Being Friends official wins and it's like there's 5 of them?
Yeah, they're like, well, we each.
Yeah, gotta get one each of us. What have you done here, Dan? So for this episode's game, We're going to kind of double down on what we did last time, where we did general trivia, if you remember that. Jeff, are you once again ready for Natalie to aggressively swat your hand away and condescendingly tell you she knew every answer anyway?
Oh my God.
I'm wearing gloves.
I need to
Like work gloves.
Jeff's wearing like an armor.
A suit of armor.
Yeah, like a suit of armor so Natalie doesn't hurt him. All right, so I went through and I picked a bunch of trivia questions. And then at the end of the trivia questions, I found easy riddles. And I think I want to start with the riddles.
So there's trivia
like what's
and
the
riddles?
answer? So we have to do
Trivia and
an answer to a riddle. Are you good at
Yes.
riddles?
I don't know. What
Oh
is-
God,
These
that
are
means
not-
she's good.
I don't
Great,
really
here we
know.
go.
What do you mean?
Oh, I knew that one.
She only had an hour to look at these before
Okay,
I put them here. So
not
don't
bad.
worry.
What
That's
if
not
we
too
did
bad.
like Jeopardy one time?
And we have to say
Maybe.
like
Yeah, what is, who
we
is,
have to
how
answer the
is.
Yeah.
question. We have
All
to say
right.
the question.
Here we go.
I like trivia so much that the other day we sat on the couch and I made him read me trivia questions to answer.
Oh, good. You're
Forcibly.
good. You were practicing.
She was
That's
practicing.
wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. What we were doing, and I was like, well,
Yippee.
damn it, I can't use these now. She's like, it's okay, there's lots.
Lots of trivia. There's lots of
trivia. Just
knowledge
find
in the
a way.
world.
Yeah. I was like,
All right, I guess I'll keep
All right,
score
Jeff, keep
because I
score,
want to
please.
answer
Okay,
any
here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
What has to be broken before you can use it? Jeff.
An egg.
Egg.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
I was
Riddles,
thinking-
riddles.
And that ends the
Game
game.
over. Let's
Who,
move on to the
who won,
beat.
Jeff?
Down.
I was thinking
Me.
one of those
1-0.
glow, I was thinking
Jeff
a glow
wins.
stick.
Yeah, okay, you break the internal thing. Yeah, that's true. Wasn't that
I'll
that?
give you
makes more
one. I'll
sense.
give you 1/8 of a point.
All right, here we go. Number 2. I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old. What am I?
Tall when I'm young.
Short when I'm old.
When I'm old, things are tall and then short.
I'll say it for you. I'm tall when I'm new, and short when I'm
Not new.
old. Natalie.
A pencil?
No, but that's a good answer.
good
That's not
answer.
the
That should
answer
be right.
on the website.
That fits the criteria.
Sure does. It's
It
not
could really be. I could be like a French fry.
a candle. Okay, number 3.
It's a candle.
It was a candle.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Okay.
Same thing.
What month of the year?
Time out.
Yeah.
Natalie
What
just
is
said a
she-
candle and a pencil are the same thing. Natalie said same thing.
All right, Jeff, give her a
Candle,
point. We
same
can't.
thing. All right. And she got an 1/8 of a point for that first one. So she's up 1 and an 1/8 to 1. Same thing. Candle,
Well,
pencil.
I mean, but
Whatever.
both apply the same way.
You ever light a pencil? Smells great. Move on.
Okay, number 3. What month of the year has 28 days? Jeff.
All of them.
Yes, correct.
I've heard that one
Yeah,
before.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it?
I do get it. Thanks, Jeff.
Natalie gets a point.
She's stewing. She's not
I
happy
know,
right
I
now.
know,
Just
sorry.
so you know. All right.
I'm gonna try to get
Damn,
all of them.
riddle.
I'm gonna shut her out.
I'm not doing.
Come on.
You should just instantly buzz in and then
Yeah.
just be like,
And just be like,
all right, number 4. What is full of holes but still holds water?
full of holes.
Yeah, it's full of holes but still holds water.
You want me to ding in, Natalie?
Yeah.
Jeff.
A sponge.
A sponge!
Clearly, I'm not good at riddles.
You are not happy.
You're gonna catch up in the,
Sorry.
You're gonna catch up in the trivia zone.
Yeah, the trivia
Don't worry.
zone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trivia, so don't
I
worry.
catch up.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
What question can you never answer yes to? I mean, I guess technically you can't. But
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
So the an
you
answer
can't
is
answer
never
yes. To this. Yeah, the answer is never yes to this question. What question can you never answer, Natalie?
How old are you?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I mean, right?
No. All right, I have a guess.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
All right, my guess is, are you dead?
Oh my God!
Is that kind of it?
You were so
Close.
close.
Are
Okay, you both
you-
guess. It's "Are you asleep yet?"
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
But this
Like
Yeah,
just like the
I get
candle
it.
Same
pencil.
thing.
Same thing, candle,
Same thing.
pencil, whatever, who cares?
Same thing. Is,
Move on. Half a point.
there's more than one answer. Is all I'm
All right, okay. Are you asleep yet? Okay. That was good.
We both had valid answers.
Yeah, maybe I'm not asking someone if they're already dead. I
Oh
get
my
it.
gosh. Okay.
Are you dead?
Number 6. There's a one-story house in which everything is yellow. They're all yellow.
They're all yellow.
Yellow walls, yellow doors, yellow furniture. What color are the stairs? Jeff.
There are no stairs? 'Cause
There
it's
are
a
no stairs.
one-story
Because
house.
it's a one-story house. Just running the table.
They were all yellow. That was my other answer if I didn't know the
I know.
answer.
You can see her face. She's looking like,
Like,
Yeah, I'm happy. This is great.
It's fun game. We're gonna do board gamer bullshit again.
There'll be a ban on riddles.
yeah, no more riddles.
All right, here we go. A man who was outside in the rain without an umbrella or a hat
Oh no.
didn't get a single hair in his head wet. Why?
I think I know this one, Natalie. Do you want me to ring in?
Yeah.
Because he was bald.
He's bald.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Natalie, how come you're not getting any of these?
Oh.
You really?
Because I don't know them.
Oh.
Also, I feel like I did get a couple, but they weren't
What was
technically
the
right.
Well, the pencil one? I agree.
Pencil
What was
one.
the other
How old are you?
one? No. That's not a yes or no question, Natalie.
Well, you didn't say it was a yes or no
There's
question.
an infinite number of questions you could ask
Exactly.
that aren't yes
That's
or
why
no.
it's a dumb riddle.
No, but it wasn't.
That's why it's a stupid. Yeah, those are just riddles.
Oh
riddles
my
are dumb.
God. All right. Okay. What gets wet while drying?
I know this one too, Natalie.
Are you serious?
Do it, Jeff.
He just like studies
I know.
riddles at
No, I
night.
just they're like play on words.
Yeah.
It would be a towel.
A towel. A towel gets wet while drying.
Because
Oh,
it's drying. It's drying
Can't
you.
do that.
So
Yeah. They're like word things.
I know.
Yeah. Word things. I'm
They
good
all
with
make
words,
sense. And I've
obviously.
even heard-
There's word things I'm good at.
I've even heard
good at
those.
the words.
He's really quick at this.
I'm good at the
Yeah.
words.
All right, here we go. I'll
good at the trivia.
I'll do one or two more and then we'll go to trivia. Okay.
Okay.
You oh no.
Give me a little lead
You're
before we
good
get
at
into
riddles. I'm good at random
You walk into
facts.
a room that contains a match, a kerosene lamp, you know what that is?
Yes.
A candle, and a fireplace. What would you light first?
Go ahead. You were closer.
Natalie.
The match?
Yes!
Yeah.
You did it! Oh, she's on the board.
She hit my finger. Ow. All right.
Natalie bit my finger.
Ow, my finger.
Charlie.
All right, here's the last one, then we'll go to trivia, okay?
All right.
The more of this there is, the less you see.
The more of
What
this.
is
More of this.
Yeah, what is this? The more of this there is, the less you see.
This is wrong.
What is it?
Darkness?
Darkness.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Correct.
Good one.
Correct. All right. You're
That's how
jumping
those
up
work.
in there.
Yeah.
All right, now here we go.
I'm in trouble. I only have
Here we
a
go.
4-point lead now going into trivia. I'm screwed.
You should move the bell a lot.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. It was Snow White.
Snow White. Maybe not for this one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. This Disney princess has an evil
Cinderella.
stepmother. Cinderella.
That's not the question on the thing.
All right. Which Williams sister has won more Grand Slam titles?
50-50 chance.
Serena.
Serena
Williams.
Wait, what's the other one's name?
Venus.
Venus.
She's your
I
fire.
thought it
Yours
was
is
like
there.
Vanessa.
Serena's amazing.
Serena's the she.
Venus is amazing too.
still
It's an
looks super
amazing
good.
family.
Venus is older, right?
Yeah, but not by many years.
13.
Even Serena, and this might be wrong. Serena might have won a Grand Slam after she had a baby too. Like came back, trained, boom, knocked it out. Another one. She's incredible.
Damn.
right.
Federer can't say that. Okay. Which email service is owned by Microsoft?
Oh.
Jeff.
Outlook?
Ooh.
Ooh, it's not Outlook, is it?
What's that? The doorbell just rang.
Someone's at the door.
Who's here? Is that the polite killer again?
Oh no, not the polite.
It might be the
killer.
polite killer.
Why is someone ringing our doorbell?
Package
No.
delivery.
Should we pause? And go
Oh,
check?
We don't ring the doorbell.
Oh, I know who it is. It's my eggnog. my eggnog is delivery. I have an eggnog girl.
What?
Yeah.
Ship shopper.
Wow.
I have a ship shopper.
There's this girl
God,
who
this
always.
is first world stuff.
Yeah.
There's a ship shopper that I
He
know.
only drinks Guernsey eggnog. No other eggnog.
Yeah, I know he's an
gotta be
eggnog snob.
Eggnog is disgusting.
Well,
That's why there's more for Ryan.
Anyways, the ship shopper, they're always out of Guernsey's eggnog because they like never have it, and that's the only one he likes. And so she's like, "Oh, I have a relative who works for Guernsey. I can see if I can try to get you some." And then she did, and she's like just dropped it off. On
Yep.
the porch.
That's nice.
I know, for free.
How nice.
Yeah,
I know the
she-
answer to the question now.
It was awesome. Okay, Jeff, what did you say? Go
No,
ahead.
well, I said Outlook, but
Oh,
I'm
you
wrong
said
because Outlook is
Outlook?
more of a server thing than a. But
Right.
if she gets
Oh,
it
yeah,
wrong,
you-
can I guess again?
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta have something, babe.
Hotmail.
Hotmail.
It is
Yes,
Hotmail.
correct.
Damn, yeah.
Yes, correct.
I knew that. I have a Hotmail account
Do you?
from like when Hotmail was cool back in the.
Yeah, that was.
that
It
was
was like one of
Yeah.
the two. It was like you had
I've never
AOL
had
or
a
Hotmail.
I had AOL.
Okay, here we go. What part of the atom has no electric charge? Jeff.
I'm just gonna pick a part of the atom, and
Yep.
you can say the other one. I'm gonna go with a proton.
No.
Is that a part of an atom?
That is part of an atom.
Okay, at least I got that right.
Natalie. Neutron, yes.
Yep.
I was like, oh,
those are the only two. I was doing
There's an electron, too. Right
Science
on.
was my worst subject. I'm surprised I even knew.
We're just going to make him feel like crap by saying that?
No, I just.
Which companies are part of the big three? Jeff.
Thanks, Natalie. Natalie kind of like blinked at it. Ford, Chrysler, and GM.
Yes, so exactly. She blinked at it. I could see Jeff being like, well, Natalie got it first.
Well, it was more like I was
Correct,
like,
Jeff, correct.
If I hit this, I'm sure I would like come up with them, and I didn't just know them. Like,
Yeah, that's
instantly.
what, I mean, that's the,
And she would have crushed my hand if she went for it.
boom.
I have this ring.
Which country
Yeah.
produces the most coffee in the world? Which country produces the most coffee, cofete,
Should I just guess?
in the world?
Sure.
I'm just going to guess. Colombia.
No,
Oh.
but
That's a guess.
Anything else? That's a guess.
Brazil?
Yes,
That was the other one.
Brasilia.
Something down
Colombia
there.
was a good one. Colombia is probably the one that produces the most heroin.
Oh,
or cocaine.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Here's one. What is your body's largest organ? Natalie.
Oh shit.
No.
Skin?
Yes.
Yeah, skin.
It's not shit,
Natalie said shit first, by the
Yeah,
way.
shit.
So,
Yeah, no,
it's
sorry,
okay.
Natalie.
I was like,
I knew that one. I knew that one.
Skin and organ.
On record, I knew that one. I knew that one. I knew it.
Epidermis?
Which element is
call it
said to keep bones strong? Jeff.
Calcium.
Calcium.
Gotta be quick on that one. Natalie
that was like,
I had
that
to.
would've been as
Natalie's,
quick as Jeff's ever
it is
buzzed in.
9 to 6.
Oh my gosh, you're catching up.
And
How
back
many
to
you
the
got
riddles.
This famous riddle was from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Is this for real?
I don't know anything about riddles.
Tom Morvolo riddle.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was gonna say
That was a
Tom.
joke.
Oh. That's what I said. Are you serious?
No, I'm never serious. Okay. Which Avenger is the only one who could calm down the Hulk?
I feel like I know this. Go ahead.
Natalie.
I don't really know.
That's wrong. You can't do that,
I'm
Natalie.
gonna say Black Widow.
Correct.
Really?
Black Widow. You are not allowed to buzz in and then just sit there. It's not fair.
Well, I was like, I thought it was her. That was my instinct, but
Go with your
Yeah.
instinct.
All right. No more to do that. What is the name of Batman's butler?
Alfred.
Natalie. Wow.
Yeah, Alfred.
Alfred, correct.
Gotta
Batman.
catch up.
Batman's butthole.
Batman's butthole. Alfred.
Batman's butthole. That's Alfred. You better talk to Alfred.
I picture him like turning around like Ace Ventura.
Yeah, like Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
I'm Alfred. I'm stupid. Turn this off.
Okay, catch the joke.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I burped.
Oh, man.
Okay. Mexico's Dia de los Muertos
Oh my god.
means what in English? Jeff.
It wasn't? I don't even know. It was like the same time.
Natalie. I think I might have hit the side of the bell. I think you hit the thing.
All right, Natalie.
Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead. How did you know? Which British girl group? I'm not.
The Spice Girls. Good.
Only one.
Correct. had a member by the name of Mel B. That was the thing. I guess I'm thinking about Batman's butthole.
Gross. Yes, I'm thinking about it.
You think it has like that's where his grappling hook comes from?
Are we done? I won 10-9.
No, there's more.
Oh, man.
All right. Okay. World War I
Yep.
began with the death
Franz Ferdinand.
of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not the answer.
Oh, damn.
In which
All right.
country?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
Jeff's like, why didn't I wait?
I know.
Okay.
France.
France Ferdinand.
Do I get a legal guess or no?
France Ferdinand. I don't think.
First of all my students think that Franz Ferdinand's from France all the time. I tell them that over and over again. He's not. Franz Ferdinand. It sounds like the word France, but that's not where he's
I
from.
know his name is Franz.
You can't say the answer, but I don't think we count it.
He was killed in Bosnia.
No, it's where was he?
What started it?
World War I began with. Oh, it says Austria here.
No, he's from Austria-Hungary. He was killed in Bosnia. So you're
No,
wrong.
it didn't say where did World War I start?
World War I began with the death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Oh, of which country? So, like, where is he from?
he was from
Oh,
Austria-Hungary. He was from
okay.
Austria-Hungary. So
Okay.
sorry, I thought that was where he was killed.
Franz Ferdinand is
No,
the...
he's from Austria. He was
What's
killed in
funnier,
Bosnia.
Franz Ferdinand or Batman's butthole? Batman's butthole.
Batman's butthole.
Franz Ferdinand is funny. Okay. What name is used
take
to
that way.
refer to a group of frogs? I think you can get this if you think about board games.
Ribbit.
You think about board games?
That's my clue.
Is there a board game with frogs?
I didn't get the last one
Fun with
I didn't hear
frogs.
the word properly.
Oh, did you not hear it?
well, no.
What name? Oh, you're saying the last one, yeah.
I thought it was where he died. Isn't that what he asked?
No, it said,
Where
well,
he's
you
from.
said it before. Oh, you said Franz Ferdinand. Yeah. It was World War I began with the death of Franz Ferdinand of which country?
Oh, I thought you said in which country.
I might have. And if
Okay,
I did,
no, it's all
yeah, I
good.
didn't mean to.
Or,
No, it's probably not. Sorry. So a bunch of frogs is called
Yeah, what is the name for a group of frogs?
an army.
Correct! An army!
Oh, is that a
Because there's a
game?
board game called Army of Frogs.
Gotcha.
Well, that's not why. But all right,
that's
we're
why
getting
you
close.
gave
We
that
only
clue.
have a few more.
Okay. How many?
I don't know.
100.
How many hearts does an octopus have?
3.
Is that
Natalie.
right? Is that right?
That's right. What? How did you know
Wrong
that so
with you?
fast?
We just talked about that recently.
Oh, great.
Wait a minute. Was that one
Subconsciously
of the, was that one of the
sliding
questions
questions in conversation.
Was that one of
Might
the
have been.
questions
It
too?
might
All
have
right, we
been.
should erase that if that's one of the questions I asked you.
No, I'm gonna leave it.
Well, what do you think?
I'm gonna leave it on the board.
I'll
Jeff
leave it up
could've
to you.
known that.
Do you think that was illegal? Yeah, but you answered that real quick. You don't even know what a duck is.
Yes, I do.
No, you kept calling them
Mallard.
loons. No, a mallard is a duck.
I know what a duck is.
Is it mallard?
A loon is a duck.
A loon is a loon.
It looks just like a duck. A duck is like.
So you think someone that thinks a loon is a duck knows how many hearts an octopus has? Did you?
Apparently.
Are you
That's
sure?
what the scoreboard says.
I knew they had multiple
Okay.
I need to listen to history questions.
That's
better.
fine.
before that.
All right. What is the legal term for a voluntary written statement made under oath? Jeff.
An affidavit?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that one, Natalie?
Yes, I did.
Of course.
My hand
Why I
slid
tried
away.
to
Thank
Yeah, I was like, I
Yeah.
see. It was funny because you were just like,
It's a straight shot. I can't
what
go-
is the name? This is another legal question of the classification of crime less serious than a felony. Natalie.
A misdemeanor?
Well, it's Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
Oh.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah, so, sorry.
Wrong.
Yes, correct. Okay. Who is the richest person in the world as of 2020? The richest person in the world.
I don't know.
Jeffrey.
Is it Elon Musk?
Nope.
No.
Nope. That's a good.
It's El Chapo.
Good guess. Yeah, it's El Chapo.
Bill Gates?
No, I knew you were going to say Bill Gates.
How'd you know?
Can you think of another one?
Warren Buffett.
Has the same name as one of our co-hosts.
Ryan?
One of our co-hosts.
Oh, Jeff Bezos.
Yep, Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Which queen was Julius Caesar involved with? I think they were banging.
Do we have to know the number? Or just the
No,
name?
no, it's just the name. Just the name. Here's a clue. She's never known by Queen whatever. It's just her name.
Go ahead.
I can't believe Natalie doesn't get this one.
Come on, Natalie. Is it
I'm just
Natalie?
surprised.
Julius Caesar?
Yeah.
Why do you think I know?
Oh,
this?
Jeff.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra. She was Cleopatra.
Egyptian.
Yep. Nice. Good job. What's our score? We got
13 to 11.
We got 4 left.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
What is the name of the home of the Greek gods?
Home?
Yeah, their home. Where do they live?
An apartment.
Oh.
Upper West Side.
I feel like I know this.
I forgot the question. What is it?
What is the name of the home of the Greek gods? Where did the Greek gods
Reside.
Yeah, where are they from? You'll know it.
Greece.
I feel like I
There
know
must be
this,
a-
but I can't. I don't know.
Is it also a game?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. Yggdrasil's the tree. Is it Yggdrasil?
No, that's
more
Norse.
the
That's
Norse.
the
Sorry,
Norse
that's,
stuff.
wrong.
Yep,
Wrong.
yep.
Just say Greece. That's where the Greek
I want
gods
to be
are.
like Atlantis.
No, it's Olympus.
Oh,
Olympus.
Mount
Olympus.
Ah,
Olympus.
I did know that.
Yep, Mount Olympus. All right, here we go. 3 left. Get ready for this one, guys.
I'm ready.
What did the itsy bitsy spider climb up? Natalie.
Water spout.
Well, it's the water spout.
Yep, boom. Wrong.
He's correct, of course. All right. How many bags of wool did Baa Baa Black Sheep have? Natalie.
3 bags.
Oh my God, we have one left. Are we tied up?
Oh man, we're tied.
Oh, nursery rhyme ones,
Yeah.
like baby's first trivia.
No, let's do a riddle as the last one.
The last one is a riddle.
Oh,
Natalie will get it.
great.
The
Just
last
tied?
one is a riddle.
Yeah, it's tied.
Oh.
You got it.
I can't believe it's tied after all of this. What's the score?
13-13.
13. So
For all this shenanigans.
Fucking riddle.
Got to win by 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking
Here we go.
trivia.
Last riddle. Here we go. How can a man go 8 days without sleep?
How can a man go 8 days without sleep? Oh,
Jeff.
Natalie, I know this one. He sleeps at night.
He sleeps at night by sleeping during the night.
of
That's
during
how
the
he can go
day.
8 days without
Oh.
sleep.
Ooh.
Jeff,
That's so
wins.
stupid.
Win the riddle game.
One to end on.
3 bags of wool.
I know,
that was not
right,
dumb.
exactly.
Oh, you asked me the heart question the other day, so let me just say that.
That would have been dumb to end too.
Natalie's the worst loser. Oh, now it's stupid.
Oh man, that's great.
The water spout.
When I act that way, I feel like Frankie.
Yeah. You are kind of like Frankie in that.
Oh man.
What if Jeff was like,
was-
the water spout? I can't believe I lost. That's crap.
Oh, that was good.
That was really
That was
fun.
close.
That was really fun for me.
For me. That was fun. I
my
like
God.
that stuff.
Let me finish eating this bread.
Yeah, we'll wait.
So, the Instagram inbox is coming up for everybody who only listens to our episodes for the Instagram inbox. Fear not, you will be made
It's haps.
whole.
It's happening.
Natalie's mouthing something to me, and she's probably. Did you forget to actually put the breath through your mouth?
No, I wasn't gonna say this on
I know.
there.
I know. Do it now.
Are we still doing the topic, or are we just gonna do the inbox and the?
For the last several measures of time long, I've been on a quest to play every Polyomino game I can get my hands on. I've now played 42 different games with a Polyomino mechanism, which of course, as you might suspect, makes me the absolute unquestioned authority on the subject, so what I say goes. Looking at the list, there are so many different types of games with Polyominoes in them. There's games like Arcadia, Amerigo, The Princess of Florence, In the Hall of the Mountain King, A Feast for Odin, and Magnificent, that are all games that have Polyomino tiles in them, but I wouldn't say they're necessarily the main focus. I mean, in A Feast for Odin, it's hard to explain. That is kind of the main thing you need to do. You need to cover up all those spaces or you're going to lose points, right? And you have to do that with different, shapes of tiles. But still, there's a big, huge game around that, like a worker placement game. You're doing something else. And those types of games, which have polyominoes, feel so starkly different to what I've dubbed as the pure polyomino game, which is literally just taking polyomino tiles and putting them on a board to fill up space. And so it begs the question, what do you guys look for when you look for a game with polyomino tiles? Are you looking specifically to... I just want to fill this space up, because for me, that's what happens to me when I see those tiles. I'm like, how can I fit those together? Like Tetris. Mm-hmm. That's like the number one thing I want to do is like fit them together and make them fit into a space.
Yeah.
Do you get excited seeing polyomino tiles in a game where that's not necessarily the main focus?
It depends.
Natalie, please ring in.
Is this acceptable, Natalie? If Jeff wins this somehow, is that okay?
It depends on how they're used, I think. So to me, using polyomino tiles to fill in a space is fun, but I think what's more fun are games that you use the polyomino tiles, like you're filling in the space, but you're also like, it's not just filling in the space and that's it. Like, I don't want any like empty spaces. I like other ones that are like, I'm using these polyomino tiles to, entrap this certain thing in this area that gives me points, or I want to cover this certain thing up because that gives me an extra benefit. And so it's not like just purely filling in a space, but there's more to it than that. And then the games that have it as like a side thing, like you said, the Magnificent and Amerigo and the other ones. And again, it just depends how involved the polyominoes are. Like if they're just like, it's just like another thing that you do and it doesn't really matter and you're not really filling in a space, and it's just, it could have been a different non-polyomino shape and it would have done the same thing, then like it doesn't really excite me that much. That
Okay.
is polyomino. You know what I mean?
So would you say Amerigo is one of those games for you where it doesn't really matter if it's polyomino shape if you're covering things up?
Yeah, I would, because that's not the most fun part of the game for me. Like, that's not even the main part of the game. That's not the thing that makes me like really enjoy the game.
So what's an example of a game where you're just talking about a second ago that uses polyomino tiles in a clever way that gives you additional things? It's not just filling in space. Like that you like.
Like
Without giving away your entire top five, which we're going to do in a second.
Scarabia, for example.
Okay.
You know, there's like...
Talk about that for a second.
So Scarabia, it's like a square, and it has polyomino tiles that you're like putting on the board, but it also has like those little like mountains, so you can't like place them in certain spaces, and then you're also trying to like enclose those little scarabs to get you points. But it's difficult because, you know, there's obstacles, and you're trying to like... You're not just trying to like fill in all the spaces, because if you fill in all the spaces, you won't get all of it. Like,
good
points.
point.
You know
That's
what
a
I
good
mean?
point.
So I think that that's cool and clever, but it's still like using polyomino pieces in this area is still the main mechanic of the game. But
Interesting.
it's not just like Tetris.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff. What about you? What do you look for when you see a polyomino game? What excites you about it?
Well, Natalie said some things that I agree with. So there's a different thought that, all right, I'm playing a game like Second Chance or Patchwork. My goal is to fill it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just filling this up. Tetris.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to fill this spot up, where it's a little bit of a different thought, where I don't want to fill up my board. I want to enclose certain things.
Yeah.
Which, cool. We're using these tiles in the same kind of way, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to buy another game where I have to fill up a board with tiles to enclose everything.
Yeah, you have Second Chance and Patchwork.
I have Second Chance. I have
Exactly.
Patchwork.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go buy Patchwork Doodle.
Right.
I don't need those
something
games anymore. I
different.
have one.
Right.
Unless there's going to be some game that's going to make Patchwork irrelevant, which I don't see
haven't
that
seen
happening.
yet. Sure.
Because I think that game, along with the drafting of the tiles, that's what I want to play. So, you know, whether it's a card flip or a something, the game doesn't change much. I'm just filling it in. So I do want something a little different. So to talk about like Grand Carnival. That, you know, I want to be able to do something along with those shapes, along with filling something in. So now in Grand Carnival, I'm building my park in those shapes, and then I have to figure out how am I going to get those shapes into my park. Can I even get that shape into my park with how I'm building it? Not just, this is what I can put, this is what fits next to it, and now I'm done. Or, you know, I'm excited to play Amerigo. I haven't played A Feast for Odin, but something to go along with just the straight polyomino. I'm kind of, I guess I don't want to say I'm beyond it, but if I'm going to play a fill in the space game, it's going to be Patchwork or Second Chance, and I don't really care if you've made another game like that. Because I have one that does that almost perfectly, in my opinion. And why would I want your game? You know?
Yeah.
So
Unless you
do something
twist
unless
on
different.
it's
it.
something
Yeah.
different, right?
Right.
An example of that something different, I think, is My City, where you are, you know, trying to group like tiles together, fill up space, but there's a different type of rule every play.
The goal changes every round. I do have to enclose certain spots, but I want to have them. I want to have them touching in certain areas, and now they're different
sometimes
colors.
I want to connect this to that, and there's like a lot of different cool stuff. I agree with you. I'm a little bit different on the fill up space games. I can't get enough of those. I love that's my
you're
favorite
obsessed
part
with
about it
Tetris.
because Tetris is my jam, and so any other game that does even a little bit different of fill up the space, I love. Second Chance probably does it the simplest, which is literally just you fill up all the space and you win. You know, you play the longest and you have the least amount of unspace. Patchwork is amazing because of the economy that's also in the game, and you know the timing element that's also in the game. That's what I think separates Patchwork from a lot of the simpler just fill in the space games, because that is a fill in the space game. And personally, I'm of the opinion. I guess I'm kind of like both of those combined. I love any game that I see. I see that polyomino shape, and I want to play it.
Yeah.
There's something about just weird looking L piece, or the small little T or the little zigzag that just makes me go, I want to touch that and see how that goes together. Because a lot of times it seems like there is a bunch of different ways to fit pieces together that you might not have thought. And you can put them together in cool ways. And I want to know, what can someone do with this puzzle that expands on it, which is why I love something like the Magnificent or Amerigo so much.
Yeah.
It takes an integral part of, the gameplay of the Polyomino tiles, but has a whole other game built around it. It's not just like, I'll say Ariel is like as pure as it gets. Boom. We have Polyomino tiles and this is what we want you to do with them. But then a game like the Princess of Florence, it's more about the auction and the interaction. But you have to use these Polyomino tiles. I love that. I think that's just a cool way, instead of just using just square tiles only, they use different shapes.
Yeah.
So it makes it harder and more, you have to plan it out more. And I love that kind of thing because I feel like there's sometimes a moment where you take a Polyomino tile and you're like, oh, I can fit it right there. And it's
that is cool.
perfect. And that feels amazing when you get that. There's something so satisfying about it's like putting a puzzle together. There's people love putting puzzles together, and this I guess is an extension of that in a game. I'm able to at the end of this see this puzzle thing that I've put together and created, and it just looks so satisfying. So I've been very happy with this Polyomino journey that Natalie and I have gone on, and I'm excited to discuss our top 5 Gamecasters Polyomino games. We are also doing, Jeff has compiled a top 5 of the people.
The people.
So we're going to incorporate this top
Spoken.
5. Yeah. This top 5 is going to be a mishmash of the Gamecasters plus the Instagram inbox. So let's go Jeff, Natalie, me for this one.
Are we gonna do Jeff, Natalie,
Maybe
me,
Jeff, Natalie, me, people.
people? Yeah, like they're
Do
part
you have
of
it?
it.
They have it that way.
Oh.
Have you compiled them into the top 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have more of a top 4 with a bunch of there'll be a tie for
Ties.
5th.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll just
All right.
do it. Yeah.
All right. Let's do that.
I do want to
okay.
give a shout out to the people who
Sure.
gave me it, so I got to remember to do that at the end.
Yep. Sure.
I'm starting though, right?
Yep. You go first.
Okay.
Number 5.
I do have some interesting fact. Did you know? So as we think about Polyomino and we refer to Tetris, and a lot of people refer to Tetris.
Yeah.
Did you know the Tetris blocks have names?
Tetraminos.
No, the blocks in the Tetris directions they named them.
What?
Yes.
How do I not know this? What are they?
So the generic L, which go 2 ways, the L or the backwards L.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Okay. That is called Orange Ricky and Blue Ricky. These are
What?
I'm reading from the Tetris
Ricky?
directions.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
So Orange Ricky and Blue Ricky.
Okay.
You know the little now there's 2 directions of the Z
Yep.
or the 2
Yep.
Yep. That would be the Cleveland Z and the Rhode Island Z.
Wow. The
Yep,
Cleveland Z.
depending on
That's weird.
the Cleveland Z would be what you would draw as a normal Z, and Rhode
Yeah.
Island would be then backwards.
The other way. Okay.
The
Straight long piece.
the straight long piece is called the hero.
Of course. That fits.
that fits.
That is
Yeah.
the best
Yep.
piece in the game.
Yeah.
The T
Yep.
Yep.
is called the T-wee.
The Tiwi.
Yep.
The little
And,
T.
and then the square, which is the last one in Tetris, is called the Smash Boy.
Wow,
those are-
All right. I
yeah.
want one of those to be
They're-
my new nickname.
How could
Can
you
we call me the
remember
Smash Boy?
I'm going to call you the Cleveland Z.
Oh, man.
Can we call me the
I like the
Smash
Smash Boy.
Yeah. So that's random, but there you go.
That's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
happy I know that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I can't
All right.
believe
With
you didn't know
that
that.
said, I can't either. What is your number 5 favorite Polyomino game?
My number 5, I wanted to highlight some Polyomino games that we haven't talked about or just have cool mechanisms along with them.
All right.
One of my favorite is not going to be on this list, but I'm sure it's going to be talked about, and I'll mention it at the end. So the number 5 game I want to just put on the list because I liked it so much was the Grand Carnival.
Yeah.
Kind of odd.
I just liked
Glad
it.
you
It
put
did.
that on. That was
It did
good.
the shapes. It did. I need to put these shapes in this order, but it added that layer of I need to build my park. I need to make sure I can walk. I need to make sure I put tickets. They need to be next to ride. I liked the theme to go along with that one.
Yeah. Like there was
that's-
just enough extra game.
Yeah,
to
that's
give
why
you
it's again.
more
It's
what
like
you
that
wanted.
little fringe pure Polyomino.
Cool.
It was something else. So that's my number
Yeah.
5.
I like it. All right, Natalie, what about you? What is your number 5?
My number 5 is the game I just mentioned, Scarabia.
Awesome.
For the reasons that
wow,
I
expected that to
previously
be higher,
mentioned.
actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny. After you explained what you like about it, I want to play it now.
Really?
cool.
Yeah, I want to play it again.
That's shocking. He wants to play that again, really.
I know.
Wow. Do we
She
even
tried
own
to
it
get me to
still?
sell it for a long time, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
I
I
like
thought
this
he'd
game.
sell it.
He brushed that game
"Get rid of
off
this
like
crap."
quick, I think. But maybe now that he's in his journey.
I want to,
Yeah,
maybe
it'll change.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life, and I'm feeling good.
I
All
can't
right.
believe that what I said made you excited to play it.
Look how happy Natalie is.
I love
Let's
you.
just end the
I
note
love
on.
you.
Let's just end the show on
Jeff
that
Marius
note.
again.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5 for me. I don't think anyone's talked about this game in. I don't know. It's been a long while since anyone's brought up Patchwork.
Oh, that game.
Snap.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
So, all right, the way I looked at this list, because I've played 42 different games, right? So this was maybe the hardest top 5 for me to compile.
Yeah, this was tough.
This was very difficult for me because there was so many. Jeff made a point where a lot of them feel similar, or he likes them the same. Like I like a lot of these games.
Yeah.
I feel like I like them the same, and so I feel a lot of that too. However, the reasons that I picked the ones I picked are Patchwork.
I did.
I
Patchwork
did.
kind of what?
I said that.
Didn't I say that?
No, you said Jeff said it.
I don't think so.
Natalie knew the answer.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I thought it was Jeff.
Okay.
Oh
Did
man,
you
I'm all
also
thrown
say
off
it?
now.
Yeah, maybe I also said it.
I'm all thrown
Maybe
off.
we
now.
all feel the same.
So
Sorry.
Patchwork for me has this. It was when it came out. It kind of like took the gaming world by. I hate this phrase. I always say took the world by storm. It like
Storm from the Boys.
Stormfront.
Oh yeah.
Storm is from
Storm is
X-Men.
from X-Men.
Natalie, Jeff Dingen Stormfront.
Stormfront?
Yeah, Jeff got it. Okay. No, so when it came out, it was like the darling, you know what I mean? And we all played it and we were just like, oh my God, this is so awesome.
It was,
and it's got that thing. So some people have called it a filler. I don't see it that way. This game is kind of like, it's a tricky game. It's tricky to rock a rhyme. That's right on time. It's tricky.
Oh my God.
And Patchwork has, like we talked about, that economy in it. It's got that timing element, and it's got the puzzle aspect, and it looks awesome, and it's by my boy Uwe. So I really, really enjoy Patchwork, and that's my number 5. So
Nice.
The People. What is your number 5?
Glad that was
The
on there.
People. There's a couple ties. I'll give some honorable mention later. So I'm going to make executive decision and go with one of the OGs of the Polyomino board game world and go with a game called Blockus.
Yeah,
Number
Blockus
5
Dukakis.
from the people. Should I give a shout out to the people who
Yes,
responded?
do it.
Let's do so.
Who are the block
Who
high?
voted for Block?
All I did. So I'm just going to say who answered. I just want to give these people and say
okay.
like, thank you for answering.
Yes.
We had a ton of
Answers?
feedback. Yeah, thank you for answering. We had a ton of answers. answer. So this is a shout out. I'm not going to say who said stuff, but this is just people who responded. Traveling Meeples is a really cool account. They take pictures of like scenery as well. Ahead of the game, mix painting just sent me one that was like a thinky face. So I sent one back and I was like, "Are you just thinking?" He's like, or he or she was like, "It's a very tough question." That's all I said. We got Nella's back. Family Meeple, Swoozle, a fat guy eating burritos.
Oh, yeah.
Missed the days.
Oh, yeah.
You guys still playing chess?
Not
really.
No, we haven't been. We haven't played in a while. Both of us, me and Lewis, both said it took a lot out of us. We were like, okay, we gotta take a break for a while. You just don't like focus on anything else other than chess.
Our friend Joey Zimv 2.0, Nuclear Knight, Emotional Cyborg, Mr. Meeples, Bulls and Boards, Penelope Gaming, CP Wilson, Old Buddy Nestor, Rec Games, Dub and Dub, Miss French Toast, my wife.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
Devin. Devin said Grand Carnival.
Devin DoorDash.
She said Grand Carnival
Wait a
and
minute. Devin
Patchwork.
hates
I know.
Polyomino
And
games.
she loved Grand Carnival. She said
What?
Grand Carnival and Patch. She's like, if I had to pick Patchwork, but she did really like this one.
Wow.
Being Friends official, Bad Board Game covers Son of Thunder Games,
Thunder.
Haskell Jr., a couple games,
Haskell.
.mz, and the Gateway Network, welcome. SD Bram, Cindy Pastoris, The Runaway Leader, Jim Gamer, and Meeple Mentor. So those were our contributors,
Sounded like
so thank
listed
you
all
for
the side
that.
effects for medication.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you might get a little Runaway Leader. You
Might
could
have
get a
some
little
evil mentor.
Cindy
creeping out your
Pastoris. You
nose.
never know. So their number 5 was one of the originals of kind of Blockus. Blockus
Yep.
came in a
It's
lot.
a good one.
Blockus is a cool game, and it's also a very competitive, interactive Tetris
That
game.
board gets tight real
tight
quick.
fast, and you're like, I love playing that game sometimes because you're like, Ryan, get away from my area.
Yeah, right.
Get away from my space.
just coming
bro.
in, man. I'm just coming in.
Go after Natalie's space. Why are you just letting Natalie control
I can't help
it?
it. I'm just playing my tile. I need to
love that.
play it there.
I think that's cool.
It's also one of the only Polyomino games where you don't place tiles adjacent. You place them on the diagonal.
Yes, on the diagonal.
That and Princess of Florence are really the only two games that I know that do that, which is a very cool thing. All right, Jeff, what is your number 4?
Oh, yeah, that's my turn.
Yeah, it goes back to you.
My number 4 is Urban Sprawl.
Oh, cool.
Urban
this is
Sprawl,
one that I have not played.
Urban Sprawl is a heavier game. So I think it's over a 3 weight on BGG. Again, and with polyominoes, you don't a lot of times get that heaviness to a game because, again, this polyomino is just a piece of this game.
Yeah.
There is a lot of like controlling areas, controlling rows, a little bit of economy. It's a board game with a little bit of polyomino. It's a GMT.
Yep.
It's a GMT game, and it's not their like war game. You know, they have a handful that aren't these war games, but Urban Sprawl is one that I feel like should be highlighted for having a polyomino aspect in a much bigger game.
Should we also highlight that you literally crush anyone's face in your path when
I've
you play
played this game 3-4-ish times, and I've only played it with our friend Bill, and I don't know what I've done in this game, but I've won by hundreds.
Wow.
You can score 300-400 points in this game, and I would get 300, he would get 200, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I dominated it.
You
and I was just
it.
like, I get it.
So much so that he sold the game off.
Bill sold the game away and didn't want to play anymore.
Game.
Yeah, he was like, I hate this. It's like, wow, you had a taste of losing for once.
Or he told Jeff he sold it so that Jeff wouldn't want to play it with me.
Yeah.
Now he can just
He's
play
like
it and
practicing.
Guess when I bought it back.
Yeah.
Why does it look exactly the same? Why is your name still on it?
So yeah.
Awesome. Natalie, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Ubongo Duel.
Oh,
Good one.
man. Okay.
That's one that is kind of like what I said. It's not just about filling in space like a Tetris game. It's more about seeing a picture like of a shape and trying to get the shapes that you have to recreate that picture faster than your opponent.
It's filling in the space exactly.
Yeah, it's filling in the space exactly.
And there's a million times you're like, this, we got the wrong
Impossible.
tiles.
But it's
Doesn't
not
work.
like a square.
You didn't like this. This card did you.
And then
It's-
it's like,
It's
I
like-
got it, you bongo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think you angered some listeners when you talked about that a handful of episodes
Yeah,
ago
because
because
they
you
can't
can't get it anymore.
I
It is
know.
Really fun.
So you can get regular Ubongo.
Yeah, Ubongo normal version.
Which is still a good game.
And there's also Ubongo Extreme, which is really fun. It's all the same type of thing.
Is it spelled
it's all
just with
just
an
filling
X?
in place.
Is it Extreme or is it?
I don't know. It might
Did
be.
they spell it properly?
It might be. Yeah, it might be with an X. Who knows? But they're all the same kind of game. You're just filling in the space before your opponents are.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4 for me. I'm going to Amerigo and tell you what it is.
Oh.
It is My City.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Amerigo. Amerigo by Stefan Feldkondom
Yep.
is
sure he loves
appearing
that.
on this list.
Yeah, he loves
this
it.
is representing this is the one I've chosen to represent the games that have polyomino tiles as like a side dish to the main course of the game, which in Amerigo is like the cube tower stuff. I have so much fun playing this game. I have so much fun playing this game. Is it specifically the polyomino pieces? Maybe not, but I never would have played this.
Yeah.
I don't think, had it not been for this
true.
polyomino journey. I am so thankful for the
journey.
polyomino journey that I am thanking the journey by placing Amerigo with its polyomino tiles as on number 4 of this list. However, I will say, if you're using this list to go out and just get games that feature polyomino tiles, I would say Amerigo isn't necessarily one that I would look to for getting a game that feels like it has awesome polyomino stuff. It's got the polyomino tiles in spades. There's a ton of them. You're using them all the time, but putting them on the islands. But you're not going to get that puzzly feeling satisfaction that most people I would say look for when they're looking at polyomino tiles. But I needed to feature this on the list because it is that good of a game.
Yeah.
And so that's my number 4, Amerigo. People, what is your number?
The number 4 of the people, of the IG people, short for Instagram,
that's what that means.
is Barron Park.
Oh yeah,
Which that
Phil
one's
Walker
a
Harding.
Yes, that's a polyomino game.
That's a straight up polyomino
And
game.
People love Barron Park.
good game.
And they've
I
had
played
some
that
cool
one.
expansions.
It's good.
Yeah, Barron Park. So that's number 4.
I like that.
My number 3 is My City.
Awesome, dude.
and-
Awesome.
Yeah, we're excited.
Go ahead, talk about it for a sec,
Sorry.
but-
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this game goes because, yes, it's using polyominoes to fill in spaces, but I'm really excited to see how many different directions the game will go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This round I need to do this. I need to enclose. I need to connect same shapes. I need to connect same
Yeah.
buildings. I like that, is there going to be 30 ways that I can fill this thing in? And yeah, I think there will be, and I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. So,
and that's one of the flip the card, play the tile, Polyomino games.
Yep.
Well, there's a few of those, and we have it too. And it's my number 6 on this list, only because we've only played it once on TTS.
Yeah,
that's what I.
And so I'm like, I think this could be a big favorite of mine because I would love that play. And
it will be.
Like you said, it's going to change the game. I'm so excited about it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I felt the same. I didn't put it on my list only because we played it once on TTS, and we haven't started the actual what is it? Campaign of it. But I'm very excited because it seems like it has everything that I would be looking for.
Yeah, me too. I'm very pumped about it. All right, Natalie, what was your number 3?
My number 3, let's check it out.
What could it be?
Ariel.
Nestor will be very happy that you said that. He loves this game.
Even though this is more, I mean, it's not like I don't like the games where you're just trying to fill in the space. I do. I just like even more, the one that adds extra stuff. But
she wants to mow.
But Ariel is basically, it is Tetris. That adds a little bit extra to it, with the people and then the little bar that's coming down and you have to fill in the lines and the bar goes up like Tetris. And I just really had a fun time playing this game. And the colors are vibrant and it's fun to look at. And
definitely very unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no other game that looks that way. And there's no other Polyomino game that plays that specifically that way. It's definitely a pure Polyomino game, but it's got that cool wheel where the cards on there turn, and depending on what perspective you're looking at is where how the tile is supposed to be coming onto your board, which is really cool.
Yeah,
so that's a good choice. Number 3 for me is a game we talked about a little bit ago called Ubongo Duel.
Ooh, Ubongo.
This one I put on there as the representative of my favorite game that is just fast filling in the spaces as fast as you can.
Yeah.
That's so, I love that about this game. That's maybe my, it's in terms of unadulterated fun. That one, I love that game.
Yeah.
I love just the stress of oh my god, this is impossible, I did it, yeah, ha. And then I get that point. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3, Ubongo Duel. I'm sorry you can't find it. You might be able to find it on the BGG Marketplace if you look there. I do think it's out of print. But it's fun. Again, like Jeff mentioned earlier, the regular Ubongo is available. That plays more than 2. Ubongo Duel is just 2-player only.
It's just more than 2?
there's different. Ubongo Duel is a stripped down version.
Oh, okay.
Ubongo Duel is literally, I take pieces, you take pieces, we fill in the shape, and then boom.
Yeah.
Ubongo regular has there's these gems. And it's I think it becomes a set collection type of thing with these gems.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played it, but it's a little different. But you're still doing the same thing. You're still trying to put polyomino pieces into a specific shape space faster.
Right.
All right, people.
The people
I want
have
them to
spoken.
speak.
At number 3, this game I left off my list because it was on their list. Is a game called Cartographers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I figured that was going to be on.
Cartographers is very good. I'm very bad at it, and I've accepted it.
Really?
But Cartographers is again one of the games. It's a flip and right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they add these things where there's a bunch of different ways to score, and the scorings get changed every game, and also what scores each round shifts every game.
That is cool.
So it's a very cool.
And it's got that mechanism where you're which I thought I was going to hate, where you're passing your board to the next player and they have to write the monster on it for you.
Which
cool.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, that didn't annoy me.
I thought it was going to piss me off, but it didn't bother me.
It just gives you, again, one new extra kind of challenge. Now I have to enclose these monsters.
Yeah.
So the game has a lot, and people love it. And I agree that I love the mechanisms and I love play. I'm just so bad at it. It's hard for me to be oh, this is great.
Yeah, give it tons of praise.
Yeah, I'm always I got 1 point for this, and I lose by 50.
That's your urban sprawl.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Jeff,
what is your number 2?
Yeah, now my number.
Yeah.
My number 2 is a game I want to highlight. Mainly, a lot of it is the production quality is called Era, a medieval age.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah.
Era's
another one.
Era's a roll and write, but it's not writing. It's roll and build. Yeah. So you're building these polyomino shapes that are these very cool 3D buildings, and you're putting them on your grid. But each building has different powers and different way they score, and you have a lot of other goals to go along with it, and the dice are cool. So each building gives you a different die to roll, so then you have these different kind of things. It does have a little take that where you can kind of attack everybody at the table, but I feel the same way with that as I did Cartographers, where it's just kind of well, that's just a new challenge. It didn't everyone is experienced. It's not well,
you're picking on
you
me.
suck. Yeah, I'm just going to attack your board.
Yeah.
So yeah, Era is a very cool game. It's it's almost to the point where it's overproduced, right? You could make this. It can be just a drawing
because
it
basically is a reimplementation of Roll Through the Ages, which was just a little roll and write game before roll and writes were a thing.
So this is probably a little overproduced, but I think that production also makes it sell and makes it a little more fun to like click the pegs into the board and
So it's era like the medieval.
I think it's called the medieval age. I just wrote era down. Of course,
for sure. Awesome, Natalie. What was your number 2?
My number 2 is Cottage Garden.
Oh, baby.
One of the Uwe games.
Uwe that we have not talked about.
Yes, we haven't talked about.
Any of the Uwe ones, we didn't. It's like I feel like we couldn't find time to squeeze those suckers in, so we'll do that in a minute. But go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Briefly.
Yeah, I mean, so we played Indian Summer and Spring Meadow and Cottage Garden and Cottage
New York
Garden and New York Zoo. That was Uwe?
Yep.
Oh. And out of all of those, Cottage Garden was my favorite one. That was the one. It's kind of similar, like a bongo duel, where there's like a time. You're like, it's not necessarily time.
It's not real time.
It's not real time, but you're trying to like fill in boards. Fill it up and then swap it out for a new board, and fill it up and swap it out, and then that's the one too where you're trying to like where you go around the board and every other row
is yours.
Is a row that you get to pick from. So you kind of really have to like plan. Or look ahead and try to figure out like what you could possibly use, but then you could get, that piece that you wanted could get taken by somebody else, because they like had a row that overlapped it or whatever. But anyways, I just really enjoyed that one.
Was that your favorite of the 3?
I guess I'll wait. Favorite of the 3, yeah.
So if the other one was number 1, then I guess I would have to wait.
Then you would know. Yeah, okay. So awesome. My number 2. And this was the biggest difficulty was picking number 2 and number 1 because I was back and forth. My number 2 ends up being the Azul Man, Michael Kiesling.
Yeah,
Michael Kiesling, and it's Miyabi.
Wow.
This
episode 50 something.
This was a tough decision for me. Miyabi is such a great game. It's got that kind of that Grand Carnival mechanism where you got the 5 rows and you also have 5 or 6 columns. Is it 5? Maybe it's 6 and 6. I can't remember. Either way. And you're only allowed to play tiles in such a way that you can only play one tile in one column once per round. You have to play the icons only in the row that they match. And so it's those, like Jeff just talks about, those like extra little challenges that make the game really interesting. And on top of that, there's 5 or 6 expansions that come in the box that make the game even more kind of like complex. And it's cool because they're just like one little tile that you just add in, and it just changes the way the game scores.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so it's just super, super, super replayable, really fun. It's kind of a stretch to call it a Polyomino game in a way because all the tiles are either a 1x1 square or a 1x2 or 1x3, and then there's one that's like an L. Mm-hmm. So they are polyominoes, and it's cool because you're not just trying to fill the board up. I've played this 4 times now, and all of the times I've never once filled the board because that's not what you're trying to do. You're building up in this one, and you're just trying to do things, either build up the most and get a bunch of points that way, or get the most icons shown in each of the rows to score points that way. It's not about filling in the space at all. I mean, you do have to do that ancillarily, but it's not all about that. And so I loved that about the game, and that is my number 2, Miyabi. Jeff, People, what is your number 2?
The People's number 2 is a game a lot of people love, the Isle of Cats.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Or if you go back a few episodes, the Isle of Carts.
The Isle of Carts, right.
So the Isle of Cats, what I appreciate is that there's also, there's this taking the tiles, filling in the space, right? I have to do that. But the card drafting, the card selection, that is what you add to a game to make it something different. Yeah. So I like this mechanism. Now, what can I add to it where it's not just taking tiles, cute cats, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now let me add the cards, do different effects. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do want to give that game another shot.
The production is really good, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get those little cool cat figures.
Yep, that's awesome.
So now we're at my number 1.
We have arrived, Jeff.
Number 1.
What is your number 1?
I like how we're ending number 1 with the people. How nice.
Yeah. That is nice.
Think about the people first.
I like that.
Never mind. Let's do the people's one. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So my number 1 is the Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Sweet.
Ooh.
That's a fun game.
That game is so fun. Because it's got some stupid things to it where you're building this. So there is this, right? Isn't it Mad King Ludwig had this insane castle?
Yeah, he built crazy.
He built it on purpose, crazy, like weird doors, stuff next to each other shouldn't be. And you're doing that, but you're doing it with these polyomino shapes. So you have this like random courtyard next to this game room, and the game room is humongous. You're building this weird creation, right? So you have this tableau of all these different shapes, but there's a really cool thing where it's kind of like I cut, you choose, where you're setting the price of these different tiles, and then do you buy this one because it fits in perfectly, or these doors don't line up? But it's like this gigantic circle building that you just stuck in there has blocked 3 doors on, but what's cool is you think about it, those doors are in that castle. Like, if that was a Mad King Ludwig's castle, you'd open it and there would be a wall.
What?
To think about that, where the game is just really fun to play, but it has another kind of cool mechanism of like bidding, or not bidding, but having prices get set, and it's fun.
Great choice. Nice. Great choice. Natalie, I think I can guess yours, but let's hear it.
Yeah. Let me see. Guess.
Just guess. Do it. Here, you want the bell?
Guess. Go ahead
Bring
and
in.
guess,
All right.
Ryan.
Yep. I mean, this is pretty much with a bullet.
Is this for a point?
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Princes of Florence.
What?
No. Did I just talk about this game?
Yep. My number 1 is Miyabi.
Yep.
Wow.
It's great.
I was even looking at the list.
Good.
I was like, oh, he just said Miyabi. Let me try to pick another one. I'm like, no, I can't. That's the best one.
This is one
so fun.
you should just buy it. Seriously. Like, you should just or try to get it.
Yeah.
I think I'm that confident you would like it.
Yeah,
that much.
it is really fun because, like I said,
very
just
good.
like you said, even too, it has that Grand Carnival mechanic where you can only put an icon in one row per round, or like one.
I even think Devin might like it because it's it's not like you're just trying to fit pieces together,
right? And I also like that there's not just one way to get points. You could.
$40.
You could get points by building up, or you can get points by getting more icons. So it's not
if Tina from Habbo would ever get back to me, maybe she'll send it to me. I don't know. I don't know if her name's Tina. I just made that up.
Tina, eat your dinner,
Tina.
But yeah,
Awesome.
basically the same reasons you said that you like it. I like it too.
100%.
Great.
Well, we have flip flop because I landed with number 1. My number 1 Polyomino game of all 42 I've played, Cottage Garden.
That's
I am
so funny.
So shocked that is the case. I held off on Cottage Garden, Indian Summer, and Spring Meadow for years because I heard such mixed reviews about them.
And is that everyone else's least favorite?
It varies. It
varies
different. Some people love Spring Meadow the best. We thought it was the worst. Yeah. I know other people that also thought it was the worst. Yeah. I'm not sure rating wise which one got the highest rating, but I don't think it's universally panned. It was the first one he did in this series. Mm-hmm. I loved it so much, and Natalie hit the nail on the head when she talked about it a minute ago. It's got that thing like Ubongo Duel, where it's not real time, but you're just trying to fill up these boards as fast as you can and get as many of them churned out. And I love that. Mm-hmm. It takes what I love so much about Tetris and other games like this, and it distills it into this little mini game that you're just playing over and over. Like, there's nothing more fun than filling an entire space in, and I get to do that six.
No, you're totally right.
Nothing on this Earth, this planet Earth, has developed nothing more fun than me taking shapes and filling in another shape,
like the Cockasaur and the Vagidon.
Yeah,
bloop, going right in there.
No, you're totally right because it's like most Polyomino games. You have
you're spending the whole game doing one.
Yeah, trying to fill in one space, and you probably don't even fill that in. This you get to fill in a bunch of them. Completely.
Over and over and over.
What's the theme? What are you
again.
filling in? Carts, right? And traveling with
you're
flowers or something.
It's like a garden.
You're gardening, so you're you're putting flowers and pots into this garden. And there's these little cats, and it's got this. Also, it's got this little kind of a little bit of a. It adds a little complexity to it where you're putting these cubes up because then you have to decide which cubes to put up and you score points, and it's got a little bit of a thinky thing. The end of the game has a little bit of a chunky thinkiness to it, and so I was blown away. I could not believe it because I have heard so much about I think Indian Summer is most people's favorite of the 3.
Yes, I would agree with that statement.
And
not that it's my favorite.
No,
I would play the one, but that
I
I've
like it a lot.
And I was just very surprised. So really quick, we didn't talk about any of these. Indian Summer is also amazing. I think that might be the best looking of all of those ones. It's just nothing but
really
leaves.
Do they all have the holes in the tiles?
Cottage Garden doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indian Summer and Spring Meadow.
That was very
do.
cool about Indian Summer.
And so what I liked about Indian Summer better than Spring Meadow, and that Spring Meadow was too simple, too light, too simple. It had the holes, and they're marmots. You're like covering up these marmot holes and then scoring points that way. And it was just really simple, and I just found it boring. Indian Summer was awesome because you're like putting those holes over top of those icons, and then you're getting those powers.
Yeah. But then you have to finish
then
it,
if you put a bunch of them in a row, you get to put a polyomino shape on top of it, and then you collect those powers again. And the game is simple because it's just whoever finishes their board first wins. So those powers you're getting are not the way to get victory points. Or those don't make you win, but you need those to complete your board faster, because that's all the whole game is about. And that's the same thing with New York Zoo, which is another one we got from Uwe that we just played recently. That's another one where just the game ends as soon as one person finishes the board. And this one has little animals that you're taking, because it's like a zoo, and you're putting like little flamingos. It's got a bunch of these little meeples, which are cute.
Bunch of different
and you're putting them in every tile you place, you have to be able to put an animal thing on it. So you're either like taking animals or taking tiles.
Let them run around the zoo.
Yeah, they can't just run around the zoo. And you can't build a pen for an animal that doesn't exist. So you got to put these in there. And then when you fill up an entire polyomino space with animals, then you get to do more stuff, and it's like works out better for you. So he has just... He's more obsessed with polyomino games than me. It seems like Uwe's just designs. I mean, how many has he got, dude?
How many has he played? Let's call him.
Well, he's designed about 42. So he's he's got Patchwork Doodle, Patchwork Express. Those three, right?
The American one, the Chinese one,
the Christmas one.
Yeah, those.
So he's got those three, right?
Second
Chance. Then he's got A Feast for Odin, Patchwork. Wait, did I just do all the Patchwork?
Yep.
A Feast for Odin,
Cottage Garden,
Indian Summer, Spring Meadow, New York Zoo. So that's 9 right there. 9 games alone that just he has developed that are,
and maybe more if we forgot.
Games. Yeah, I could have forgot. I probably forgot 1 or 2.
Right.
So he's probably played at least one more than you.
I love all of those. All of those. I love them all. Cottage Garden for me, I'm so surprised to say, is my favorite of all of them.
I didn't really expect that.
Well, update us as you continue.
But when you said you
absolutely
weren't sure about your top 2, and you said Miyabi was number 2, and I was like, oh my god, what if number 1's Cottage Garden? How adorable that our top 2s are the same.
Jeff marry us a third time.
Oh wow!
All right, people.
What
is your number 1?
Number 1.
We're so cute.
You guys have to guess what the people number 1 is. Right?
All right, people's number 1 is Patchwork.
I think Patchwork.
It's Patchwork. It's Patchwork, not by a ton, by a couple votes over Isle of Cats.
Wow.
Patchwork is also one of the most accessible games. It's everyone has probably not everyone has played it, but you know. So
no, you're right. It's one of those games that seems to be a staple in a lot of people's collection.
Yeah, and it's a good game to start. You know, gateway kind of getting people into the hobby. Sure. Do we want a bunch of honorable mentions?
Yeah, let's do it.
So these are from the people.
Yeah,
honorable mentions from the people. The Grand Carnival came from Devon. Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Copenhagen. Yep. New York Zoo got one. New York 1901. Can you guess who put New York 1901? He loves this game so much.
Peter.
Yeah.
The designer of the game.
Yeah. Ariel? I don't know how to say that game.
Yeah. Ariel.
Guess who said Ariel?
Nestor.
Someone did say they do love that game. I guess as a solo. They love playing that game solo.
Okay.
So that had a couple votes.
Like it could be fun.
Silver and Gold, which is another cool flip and right one, which is great. In the Hall of the Mountain King, I thought might show up on. I know you liked it a lot.
Yep, it's a good game.
Founders of Gloomhaven.
Oh, there's polyomino tiles in there?
Yes.
Oh.
So I don't know if you have to look it up a little bit. I think that was Son of Thunder Games. I think.
Oh, Cephalofair.
So Nate, I think, was playing that recently.
What?
Feast for Odin, Indian Summer, Cities Skylines is Jim's favorite, Jim Gamer.
Oh, okay. See,
I want to play that one.
Yeah, I wanted to play that too.
Yeah, I'm very interested in playing that one. The extras on my list, the honorable mentions on my list. Second Chance, Scarabia, which I also really like. Natalie and I think like that game more than maybe most people.
Yeah.
Scarabia.
For some reason. Yeah.
I want to play it again.
I had Patchwork. If I was making a favorite list, these are games I also wanted to highlight.
Yeah.
Patchwork would have definitely been on that.
You're right. Finders of Gloomhaven, Polyominoes.
Same.
I also put Jetpack Joyride on there because it was a different polyomino game, right?
Yeah.
It was a race from left to right, not to fill something up. And I thought that was kind of unique.
That was cool.
I'm really looking forward to Planet Unknown. I know you guys played it once on TTS, right?
Yep, we did.
But I'm really excited about that one.
We liked it a lot.
That was a Kickstarter that I backed, and a bunch of people are very excited to get.
Me too.
And it should be happening soon. So those were mine. Cosmic Colonies with a cool card
yeah.
play along with a little
What was the one
Polyomino.
that we played here before one of
Grand
the
Carnival.
episodes?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, the one
Jetpack
where
Joyride.
we were
We
like
played
coloring
Tag
in.
City.
Tag City.
Not Tag City.
We played Jetpack Joyride
Was
and
it
Tag
Tag
City.
City?
Uh-huh.
Was that the one where you were like coloring
There's, like,
in
graffiti.
and you had to,
Yeah, rows and
whoever got
columns.
okay.
Yeah,
Tag City.
I liked
Yeah,
that one.
that was cool.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how much I liked that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, both of them
Another
were
one that I
surprisingly
have
good.
on my honorable mention is Cartographers, that I was
Yes.
really surprised how much I enjoyed. I would have put it on there, I think, if I had played it more. Well, I only
Yeah.
played it that one time at
Right,
Gen Con.
same thing. I
a long
remember
time
really
ago, and I
liking
remember
it, but I
liking
just didn't
it.
remember
Yeah, I was like,
that
I don't
much.
feel I've played enough Polyomino games. I should put something else on there. I played more than once.
Right.
And
Same.
so I also have
Same.
yeah, samesies. Arile is one that I had thought about because I really did like that. Fits.
Fits, yeah.
That was almost on my list. I've played
I was
that
surprised
one
that wasn't on
a
your
million
list.
times. Yeah, to Jeff's point, I wouldn't say I'm over it, but it was just kind of like,
Yes.
yeah.
Kind of elementary.
Well, I'm past the honeymoon phase with it.
Oh, okay.
Almost. It's like, it's not the first game I think of anymore when I think of Polyomino games.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many more. A Feast for Odin is a fantastic game. The Magnificent
Yeah.
is really good. Blockus is a great one.
Yeah, I tried to not
Number
put,
9 does not have tetraminos, but they are like technically polyomino
Yeah, I was
tiles.
surprised that was-
And so that's a good one. That was one I didn't feel, I wanted to make it
True.
tetramino kind of things. And I also actually really liked Lantern's Dice.
Yeah, I had Lantern's
Yeah,
Dice.
that
on
was a
my
pretty fun
Good one. I kind of forgot about that one, but that was good.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I tried not to put like, even though I think I like Amerigo and like the Magnificent as games better than like all of those games, I've tried to put ones that were like pure Polyomino games and not just like a side
Yeah,
thing.
That's kind of why I went a little different for like not
Yeah.
the straight Polyomino, because I know you guys love those
Sure.
those
Yeah,
games
yeah.
better. So I kind of wanted
No,
to
I
be
like
a
that.
little bit different.
Yeah, diversify.
Yeah.
So if you did not know what a Polyomino game was, you know now.
You do now. You
got a lot
you
of
Cleveland.
ideas.
Listen here, you Cleveland Z.
Yeah, go see Batman's butthole.
And they got a lot of suggestions if they want to try some out.
Absolutely. Go pick up some of these Polyomino games. I'll maybe on the show notes to this episode, I will put our actual lists. Me, Jeff, Natalie, and the people's lists. I'll actually put those up on the
You'll
show
do it,
notes
or
so
you
you can
make
go
Dan
and
do it?
see. Yeah, Dan, you
Hey,
do it,
Dan,
man.
can you listen back and
Yeah,
see
do
what we
everything
said?
for us. Buy the stuff and then do all the work. So again, don't forget to join in on the contest to
Yes.
get a game for Christmas from our amazing listener, Dan, a fat guy eating burritos. Please post a story to your Instagram that says, I want a game from a fat guy eating burritos.
Yep.
Tag Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, and the Gateway Network. Also, if you don't have Instagram, you can find us on Facebook at the Gamecasters Podcast. And if you don't have either of those, just email us and say, at the Gamecasterspodcast at gmail.com, and you will be entered that way. We will select the winner probably even before next episode, but we're going to reveal the winner next episode. So, because we want you to have the game that you're going to, for Christmas.
Close to Christmas. Yeah,
And so
Christmas
we're
or close,
recording.
at least.
We'll be recording
Right.
on like the 20th.
20th.
And so, that might not be quite enough. So you might have the game before we announce
we
it
want
to you.
to definitely give a week to listen for sure, right? So then a week,
Yeah, so
maybe next
or more,
Wednesday
even
or
more.
something. Yeah.
A week or more.
Yeah, a few days before.
So awesome stuff. That's going to do it for us tonight. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters and Mad Board Gamer that we just talked about. Both those accounts service the show. We have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters. You'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast at gmail.com. I'm not even going to mention our damn BGG guild that Natalie refuses to join.
3678.
But if you'd like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen that allows you to rate us. All music for the show and every episode of it was produced by Jeremy Pete. If you enjoyed it and want some of your own for your next project, please email us to discuss. So for Natalie, Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.
Stir.
Let's have some levels. Jeff, what about you?
I have some levels. Natalie, what about you?
I have some levels too.